'cause my girl defaulted on some old credit card. If we'd gone to freecreditreport.com, I'd be a happy bachelor with a dog and a yard.
Offer applies with enrollment and Triple Advantage.
Tonight, after the break, the Cubs All-Stars are set to shine against the Astros. Tonight at 8 on WGN America.
There's a new shrink in Mumford.
What can you tell me about this?
But he's the one who needs the help.
Check this guy out. I smell a rat, I'm telling you.
Mumford.
Saturday at 3.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Houston, Texas, where outside it's around 90 degrees, but inside Minute Maid Park, a very comfortable, about 72 or so. Roof closed tonight, and we are set for Chicago Cubs baseball. The Cubs open up the second half with a 3-game series here in Houston against the Astros, and the Cubs are national media darlings. They're tied for the best record in all of baseball to begin the second half, and they're hoping this finally will be their year. Hi again, everyone. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. Hope you had a good All-Star break. The Cubs sent a plethora of players to the All-Star game. It was a thrilling finish. More on that later. But, Bob, the Cubs are 4 games up in this division. They haven't won anything yet. What are your keys to the second half?
Well, I think you could look at a lot of different areas. But for me, the big keys in the second half are going to be the continued strong play of Ryan Theriot and Giovanni Soto, especially. These guys are getting into uncharted territory in the second half of the season. We know Theriot faded in September last year. We need those guys to stay strong throughout the second half, maybe get a few more days off. For Carlos Marmol, he's thrown more innings in the past in the minor leagues as a starting pitcher, but he has never thrown as many stressful innings as he has this year. They need Marmol to get back on track. And the other keys for the entire ball club: play solid, fundamental baseball in the second half of the season, and keep your focus. Even though you're media darlings, even though everybody's picking you, you still have to concentrate every ball game.
Yeah, not to worry about Milwaukee and St. Louis. We'll do that. We'll keep you posted on how those teams are doing. Ted Lilly tonight against Brian Moeller on the mound. Cubs and the Astros coming up. And you can put it on the board. Yes! This ball game is over. Back toward the bleachers. That ball's gone. A home run. Sox win. Sox win. Yes! Cubs win. They win it. Oh, baby.
How you get to work isn't nearly as important as how you get away from it. Easy drinking Busch Light. Head for the mountains of Busch.
Never before has the gecko been captured on film talking about RV insurance.
So, you guys travel a lot. You should check out Geico and get a free rate quote on RV insurance.
This is truly history in the making.
You can also get a rate quote on motorcycle insurance, ATV insurance, personal watercraft insurance.
Sounds good.
Excuse me, I'm up here.
Geico, saving you money on insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
The best summer vacation deals are here. Right now on Expedia, get the hottest deals on more than 1,800 hotels. That's up to 30% off during our biggest sale of the year. We guarantee nobody can get you a lower price. Plus, book now with your MasterCard and get $50 for gas. Expedia.com.
AT&T. See what's new from the new AT&T. Visit att.com for details. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer. And by Southwest Airlines. You're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
And tonight's Cubs broadcast from Houston on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, is brought to you in beautiful high definition, sponsored by Comcast. So veteran right-hander Brian Moeller will pitch the second opening day game, unofficially, of course. And as you check out Lou Piniella's Pepsi lineup against him, we'd like to tell Cubs fans, after your first sip of ice-cold Pepsi or Diet Pepsi, check for the Cubs sticker under the cap for your chance to win an overnight stay to the Abbey Resort and Spa on Lake Geneva. Grab an ice-cold Pepsi or Diet Pepsi for your chance to win with Pepsi and the Abbey Resort.
Take a look at the Astros defensively. Carlos Lee out in left field. Darren Erstad in center. Hunter Pence over in right field. Ty Wigginton at third base. National League All-Star Miguel Tejada mans the shortstop position. Kaz Matsui at second base. Another All-Star over at first, Lance Berkman. J.R. Tolles, the youngster behind the plate tonight for veteran right-hander, 36-year-old Brian Moeller. See his record of 5-4 on the season. The ERA of 4.28. Much more effective against right-handed hitters. He's held them to a .240 batting average. Lefties hitting .317 against the Astros right-hander.
Well, what an all-star game Tuesday night in New York. The American League eventually won it in 15 innings, so the National League still hasn't won since 1996. But the game continued on because of a Miguel Tejada play. Slow roller. The bases were loaded at one point with nobody out, and with 2 outs, he threw out Morneau.
We go into the 11th.
To get the game to the 11th, Dan Ugla, his double play partner, committed 2 errors in that inning, 3 in all in extras. And Carlos Marmol pitched a scoreless 13th. Gary Darling, the crew chief, will work the plate. Emil Miller and Niels on the bases. Ryan Dempster struck out the side to get it to extras. Carlos Zambrano with 2 scoreless innings. So the Cubs pitchers were excellent. And that one kind of counted. This one definitely counts. It's Moeller and Terrio. And the first pitch of the second half is a fastball in there for a strike. Congratulations to Ryan and his wife Jonna as they welcomed into the world their daughter Georgia Grace, their 3rd child. She was born on Monday as Pence comes over near the line, makes the catch. So 2 pitches and 1 out. Pretty eventful all-star break. We mentioned the Terrios welcomed their 3rd child, and Jim Edmonds got married. So congrats to Jim and now Allison Edmonds.
Busy all-star break for some of the guys.
Here's Kosuke Fukudome. He was busy at the all-star game. He got the start. In center, he hit 8th, and he went 0 for 2. It's a fly ball out into deep right center field. Erstad's calling off Pence and makes the catch. Darren Erstad has taken over the center field reins for Michael Bourne, who had struggled. So for the time being, the everyday center fielder is Darren Erstad.
It's really hard to figure Michael Bourne batting only .218 on the season, but he does have 32 stolen bases. You got to figure if that guy could get on base a little more often, take a base on balls occasionally, put some of those strikeout pitches into play, he may have 50 stolen bases at the break, but he's going to see his playing time cut drastically here early in the second half.
Derek Lee lofts it into left. Carlos Lee coming on, bottling the lights a little bit. And then the roof closed as we get started tonight. Probably will be closed all weekend because of the heat. Cubs go down in order. Astros coming up.
Every sip gets you closer to Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. HD TVs, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Get Pepsi Stuff points on specially marked Pepsi or Diet Pepsi 24-ounce 6-packs for a free Amazon MP3 music download.
Here's your Gotham City pizza. And, could you tell the Joker he owes me a car?
Introducing the Gotham City Pizza with 50% more pepperoni for $9.99. Domino's, you got 30 minutes.
Can't believe you. Can't believe you. Don't ask.
You need some help?
Yes. We need to get the mixer back before 5 or else they'll charge us for an extra day.
No, we're not going to have to stop for gas. This thing is really fuel efficient.
That's true. It has variable cylinder management. It's basically 6 cylinders that can run on 3 or 4 cylinders to save gas. I read about it on a blog.
Surprisingly fuel efficient. Ride ready. The new Pilot, only from Honda.
Moeller at the bottom.
Let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively. Brought to you by Pepsi. DeRosa, Edmonds, Fukudome across the outfield. Ramirez, Terrio, Fontenot, Lee across the infield. Giovanni Soto behind the dish tonight for left-hander Ted Lilly. Boy, that Towles Hill in center field is very challenging, especially for visiting teams coming in here to this field. But Jim Edmonds doesn't appear to have too much trouble with it.
Matsui fouls away to the right. First start in 8 days for Ted Lilly. And I think he was pretty anxious to take the ball again. It was not a good one his last time out. Against the Reds at home, his shortest start of the year, 2 2/3, 6 hits, including 2 home runs and a 12-7 loss. But he did win 9 before the break. Bounced foul by the switch hitting Kaz Matsui. A ball and 2 strikes. Brian Moeller threw 4 pitches in the top of the first to get the 3 outs. Matsui chases. Soto picks up the loose change and he strikes out. Well, we're going to look back at some of the great highlights from the first half, and it'll be the subject of our text poll question tonight. But Ted Lilly pitching here back in May, and Jim Edmonds going up Towles Hill shortly after he signed with the Cubs. Pretty vintage stuff from Jim Edmonds.
Opposing hitters have seen Jim Edmonds do that an awful lot over the course of his career, that over-the-shoulder running catch. But hey, you throw Towles Hill into the mix, it's a whole different ball game out there in center. Got a 4-pitch first inning for Brian Moeller, very uncharacteristic of what the Cubs offense did throughout most of the first half. I think that's the biggest change in the team over the last 4 years, is the way they worked counts, the way they took their base on balls and really made those opposing pitchers work.
1-1 on Erstad, who's just 2 for 21 in his career versus Ted Lilly. But again, he's basically going to play every day in center, so he's in there anyway. And I mentioned that start for Ted, his last time out. It was his foul ball that then ended up striking 7-year-old Dominic DeAngie of Frankfort, Illinois. Great news. Dominic released from the hospital on Wednesday, suffered a fractured skull, swelling around his brain, and while he was in the hospital, Ted, along with Derek Lee, visited him. And the Cubs sent some memorabilia, jersey, a bat, a signed ball. And it's great to know that Dominic's home, and it sounds like he wants to get back to Wrigley Field real soon.
Yeah, we'd love to have him back.
2-2 the count on Darren Erstad. Here's the pitch. That's drilled to right. Going to hold up. Kosuke with a nice catch. That ball really rocketed on him and almost got past him. He might have lost that one in the lights a little bit. I'm not sure. Smile for Kosuke.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he lost it in the lights or perhaps that ball was knuckling. It was hit right on the button by Darren Erstad on a line. Kosuke started to his left, had to go back to his right, and ends up making a barrel roll after catching that line drive. Boy, he has played that position so well for the Cubs this year, especially at home at Wrigley Field where there are so many challenges for a right fielder.
Lance Berkman lines to the shortstop, Terrio. A couple of hard-hit balls, but no base runners for the Astros. At catch again by Kosuke. 0-0 after one.
When they ask you Monday what you did this weekend, what will you say? Easy drinking Busch Light. Head for the mountains of Busch.
Family tradition.
What's that?
Where we pass our plates to the right.
When did that become a family tradition?
When you ordered that.
Try new grilled garlic shrimp with a roasted garlic glaze or new grilled balsamic glazed chicken. 2 new dishes at Olive Garden.
Rocking performance, exceptional control. Destination tires with Unity technology, only from Firestone.
They say a man should always dress for the job he wants. So why am I dressed up like a pirate in this restaurant? It's all because some hacker stole my identity. Now I'm in here every evening serving chowder and iced tea. Should have gone to freecreditreport.com. I could have seen this coming at me like an atom bomb. They monitor your credit and send you email alerts so you don't end up selling fish to tourists in t-shirts.
Offer applies with enrollment and Triple Advantage.
WGN America, TV you can't ignore.
Second inning from Houston, the first of a 6-game trip. We could be indoors the whole trip here in Houston, and then we go off to Phoenix, where it'll be a little toasty outside.
Well, here in Houston, they've been known to start the game with the roof closed, and then after the sun goes down, the temperature cools off a little bit. On occasion, they do open the lid. We'll see what happens here tonight.
They will open it up after the final pitch tonight. It's fireworks night.
That'd probably be a good idea to open the roof. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to see them.
You're good. We didn't miss a beat over the break. Popped in a short right by the all-star Aramis Ramirez. Pence underneath. Back to the great highlights from the first half. This was off Brian Moeller back on May 19th. We thought it was out to the right of the yellow line, but it turned out better as Gio went all the way around the bases for an inside the park home run. And they actually changed the line out there. They didn't change it. They removed the wooden board and just went with the corner of the brick. If it's to the right, it's a home run. If it's to the left, it's in play. They should change that name. It should be like Soto's Facade or something. They have Towles Hill, the Crawford boxes. You should name that area for Giovanni Soto.
Well, that'll give him a story to tell his grandkids about years and years from now, the time he hit an inside the park home run in Houston. But I'm sure Gio would prefer the outside the park home runs much more.
Well, if you have an idea of what they could name that area here, you can shoot us an email at lenandbob@AOL.com.
Gio's Grotto. Well, I think the relief pitchers out in the visiting bullpen, they have a name for that area out there. I can't pronounce it on the air. I wouldn't want to offend anybody out there, but possibly the worst bullpen in baseball for one of the nicest new ballparks in all of baseball. Talking to Sean Marshall today, he says you feel like you're in jail.
Solid comebacker for Soto, and he's the first base runner tonight. Well, he went 0 for 2 in the All-Star game, but had a magnificent time as a starting catcher. First National League rookie catcher to start. Kind of got worried about him early when he stepped on the bat on that foul pop early in the ball game. He didn't even know what he stepped on. He asked me today. He said, "What was it, the bat?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I thought about it later, and I thought not only are whatever it was 57,000 people watching, but millions around the world, and I almost dropped it." That would not have been fun, but he caught it. Got to meet Yogi Berra.
Oh, what a thrill.
Shake his hand. What a night. So it's Jim Edmonds, 1 ball, no strikes. Fouled back. 1-1.
We saw in our lineup at the beginning of the game, Jim Edmonds with 27 home runs in his career against the Astros, second most of any team in the National League. He's got 5 against Brian Moeller tonight.
Kick and the 1-1 out in his shallow left center. It's going to be caught by the shortstop Tejada. Watch the Cubs take on the Florida Marlins Saturday, July 26th at 12:05 on Shed Aquarium Day at Wrigley Field. Fans have a chance to win gift packages, including 4 VIP passes to Shed Aquarium. Don't miss your chance to see lizards and the Komodo King at Shed Aquarium this summer. Have to get down there and check it out. A lot of Cubs fans here at Minute Maid Park tonight. Cardinals won last night over the Padres, and they're hosting San Diego again tonight. 0-0. They're in the top of the first. Milwaukee is out in San Francisco. CC Sabathia and Matt Cain. St. Louis is 4 out, and the Brewers are 5 back. Kind of get the impression CC Sabathia and Ben Sheets will pitch on every 5th day the rest of the year, regardless of off days. And why not? He hit a home run in his last start. Maybe he'll go for a McCovey Cove tonight. He'll probably have a lot of family and friends in attendance. He's from Vallejo, California, not too far from Oakland. 1-2 on DeRosa. Mike Fontenot on deck.
I think it's always interesting when you start the second half of the season just to see how quickly the guys get out of the blocks here in the second half. 4 days off, even though the club had a workout yesterday and some of the pitchers threw over the break. Some of the guys went to New York to play in the All-Star game, but it's just not quite the same as getting into that regular season rhythm, playing every day, going through the same routine every day. Sometimes it takes a few days for your body to get back into that rhythm.
Well, I was excited to get back here, but you do get very used to not having to do much of anything. I would say about 3 straight days of rest and relaxation. You don't want too much more, as you said. It's going to be really tough to get it going again.
think baseball players, more so than any other professional athletes, appreciate their off time because there is so little of it during the season. The Cubs are fortunate that we're right in the middle of the country, and our travel is about as good as it can possibly be. But some of those teams that live on the West Coast and have to fly from one end of the country to the other, they lose their off days on an airplane. I guarantee you they appreciate those off days at the break.
Full count. So Soto will get a head start with 2 outs. Bowler in there tonight because Roy Oswalt has a hip injury. Foul ground. Berkman over the shoulder makes a catch. The basket catch running away from home plate, and that's that. Still scoreless after an inning and a half.
Girls, enough family time for one day? Luckily, a clean, comfortable room for the lowest price of any national chain is coming right up. Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you.
Gotham City Pizza. And, could you tell the Joker he owes me a car?
Introducing the Gotham City Pizza with 50% more pepperoni for $9.99. Domino's, you got 30 minutes.
Touch one. The LG Dare. Bold features, fearless design, 3G speed on the network you want to be on. Verizon Wireless.
Hey, look, I know your fancy little gizmo here is going to tell you to take the highway because it seems faster, but trust me, I've been doing this a long time, and I got a little shortcut. The next light, you're going to want to take a look. Left. Okay, but here's the part no one knows. You're going to want to take the second left. But you can't go straight this time of day, so you're going to want to...
You're right. Park Street.
Park Street is...
Is that a new suit?
With its exclusive IQ routes, the new TomTom Go uses real drive times to calculate the fastest route. TomTom, go confidently.
WGN America. TV you can't ignore.
Great to have you with us tonight as the Cubs start the second half. Tied for the best mark in all of baseball, along with the Angels. 57-38. They're trying to be a little bit better on the road. They're 6 games under away from Wrigley Field. Ted Lilly against Carlos Lee. Fastball just missed, ball 1. Good to face Lee with nobody on base. Every time we see the Astros, we talk about that so-called nose for the RBI. And Carlos Lee, when he's up there with guys on base, he usually gets them in. He leads all National League outfielders with 76 RBIs.
Well, it's going to be a long night for Ted Lilly against Carlos Lee if he doesn't get those last 2 pitches. Both of them fastballs on the inside corner. Didn't get the call from Gary Darling on either one. If you have to pitch Carlos Lee out over the plate, he's going to do some damage.
The wind and the 3-0 pitch. Now 3-1. Tejada and Pence to follow for the Astros. High chopper to third base. Ramirez will throw offline, but Derek applies the tag. So 1 out. So good job by Lilly to come back and get him.
That high chopper down to Aramis at third base. He had to wait for the ball to come back down. That hard ground right in front of home plate ends up throwing flat-footed across the diamond. And a nice recovery by Derek Lee to put the tag on El Caballo. Had to back up a couple of steps, fielded it flat-footed. Thank goodness for Derek Lee.
Here's Tejada, 5-time All-Star. Rolled back up the middle and a base hit. Well, we have very sad news to pass along Our good friend Dustin Eggleseder passed away this week after a long battle with bone cancer at just 23 years of age. He won the inaugural Ultimate 7th Inning Stretch competition last year, conducted the song in September, and again at the Cubs convention, and in my opinion, the best conductor of the stretch we've ever had. Just a wonderful human being, an inspiration to all of us, a huge Cubs fan. And we pass along our deepest condolences to his entire family. They'll have a funeral service at 10 a.m. tomorrow in Guttenberg, Iowa, at St. Mary's Catholic Church. And our thoughts and prayers go out to his mom, Rose, his father, John, his sister, Amy Jo, and his two stepbrothers, Derek and Daniel. 1-0 the count on Hunter Pence. Tejada, after the single, gets his lead off first base, and Ted Lilly will check on him.
That's really about all you have to do on Miguel Tejada is just check on him. Let him know that you're aware he's over there. You're not going to allow him to get a walking lead. 7 out of 10 in stolen bases on the season, but most of the time, if you can make him at least stop over there in his tracks, he's not going to try to run. He will, however, take off if you allow him to get that walking lead, and he has his momentum moving towards second base. If you don't check on him in those situations, he's liable just to keep on going.
Pitch to Pence is low and outside.
You can see from that great shot from behind third base, Tejada took that walking lead. He got out to a point where he felt like he was getting too far off the bag, so he went a step back towards first, and that's when Ted Lilly delivered the ball home.
Swing and a miss, 2-1. Wigginton on deck. Pence hitting just .245 here in the month of July. Well, things change quickly. When the Cubs left Houston back in May, after losing 2 of 3 to the Astros, Houston was just a game and a half out. Now they're 13 back. Going into that series, Hunter Pence was on a career-best 16-game hitting streak, during which he hit .359. This one hit foul off to the right. 2-2.
Well, the word that keeps popping up when you talk to people close to this Astros ball club is inconsistency. They've had some stretches in the first half of the season where it looked like they maybe turned the corner and started to play some better baseball, and then just about the time they got the fans to start believing in them, they'd lose 8 in a row and end up where they are right now, looking up at the most of the rest of the division.
Two pitch, swing and a miss. He got it. So he's now 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts against Ted Lilly. It wasn't that long ago, even 2 months ago, and Houston jumped into a second-place tie. Milwaukee was under 500. And we update it, and you have to go all the way to the bottom of the division to find the Astros. Now, you talked about the lack of consistency. As Wigginton takes a breaker for a strike. They went 3-17 over their next 20 after Cecil Cooper's club won 2 of 3 in that series. They then won 7 of 10, dropped 7 of 8. Now they've taken 3 of their last 4. So they've had glimpses of solid baseball, but they haven't been able to maintain it. And if they're going to maintain anything, they're going to need their ace, Roy Oswalt, to avoid the disabled list.
I was just about to say, offensively and perhaps even defensively, they've been inconsistent, but they really haven't gotten much out of their starting rotation at all this year, Roy Oswalt included.
Called strike 1 and 2. Sounded like the Astros were hopeful, if everything goes perfectly, that he could be back on the mound Tuesday, but it's no guarantee. So the Cubs miss Oswald in this series, and they will not face Dan Herron and Brandon Webb in the upcoming set at Arizona. So that's a break.
Huge break. Miss Oswald, Herron, and Webb in the same week. Of course, you have to take advantage of the guys you are facing, but you take your breaks wherever they fall during the course of the season.
Tejada looks anxious. He's not running. There's a fly ball out into the gap in right center. Edmonds and Fukudome going after it. Kosuke with the grab on the warning track. Still nothing from Houston, as Kosuke's made a couple of really nice grabs in the early going.
I know. My diet? Well, yesterday I had an apple turnover. I know it's sort of my weakness. I always keep it in the house. Well, that and Boston cream pie, white chocolate strawberries. Yeah.
And key lime pie.
Yeah. I've already lost some weight.
YoPlay Light with 14 delicious flavors at 100 calories.
Babe, what are you doing?
Summer vacation deals are here. Right now on Expedia, get the hottest deals on more than 1,800 hotels. That's up to 30% off during our biggest sale of the year. We guarantee nobody can get you a lower price. Plus, book now with your MasterCard and get $50 for gas. Expedia.com.
You okay, kid? My foot, it's killing me. Oh, athlete's foot. Hit that with Tough Actin Tenactin. It's more than a cure. It's so tough it can keep you from getting athlete's foot. Get boom, Tough Actin Tenactin.
There's a new shrink in Mumford.
No shame in getting a little therapy.
Who's getting everyone to open up.
What can you tell me about this?
I am in love with you.
Wow.
But he's the one who needs the help.
I smell a rat, I'm telling you.
You're a big fake.
Everybody has a story. It seems like you got the variety pack.
Mumford.
Saturday at 3 on WGN America.
On Sunday, July 27th, the Cubs host the Marlins at Wrigley Field. Game time is 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 6,000 fans will receive a Cubs floppy hat compliments of comment. Or should I say 5,999.
That's right, because I know where one of them is going to be.
Fontenot, Lilly, and Terrio against the right-hander Brian Moeller, which kind of reminds me of my All-Star break. I would love to hear about your trip to Boise. Your son Michael had a fantastic week with the Boise Hawks of the Northwest League. I saw you had back-to-back 3-hit contests.
Yeah, I got 2 knocks the first night we were in town, then back-to-back 3-hit games, went 8 for 11, scored 8 runs, and even better news, the Hawks won all 3 ball games against Tri-Cities.
It's all about winning. Outside.
Boy, a lot of great people back there in Boise as well. I'd like to extend a special hello to Jim and Linda Lau, Michael's host parents there in Boise. For those of you who don't know, the Rookie Ball Club in Boise, they arrange for the players to stay with host families in their time there in Boise, and met a lot of really nice people back there. And we appreciate all your efforts opening your homes and your hearts to our children.
And we should say it's Boise, not Boise.
I was corrected very shortly after my arrival there. It's not a Z, it's an S. And I was also told that birds do not crash land on the football field. That's kind of a myth that got started, and I even helped perpetuate it last week.
Because of the blue field?
Because of the blue AstroTurf football field at Boise State, and the rumor started that ducks and geese were crashing into the field because they thought it was a body of water, and that's just not true.
Okay. Well, if you can think of any other myths that we can break through throughout the night, just chime in, as Lilly will ground out to Wigginton. There's no better place for Cubs fans to hold an event than Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse in Chicago, Rosemont or Lombard, or Harry Carey's Tavern in Wrigleyville. Call 773-HOLY-COW or visit harrycareys.com to plan your event today. Back to the top, and Terrio working on a career-best 10-game hitting streak. Cubs made a roster move prior to the ball game. They had an extra pitcher in their bullpen, but John Lieber has a right foot strain and is now on the disabled list. That's his surgically repaired right foot. And Michael Hoffpower is back to help out on the bench. And he's sitting right next to Darrell Ward, which is not a big surprise. Matt Merton was here and was not in the starting lineup. He normally was right up next to Darrell Ward, who already has his batting gloves on. At least one of them, just in case. Micah hit .400 over the course of 2 stints with the Cubs.
And in 36 games at AAA Iowa, he hit .358, had 11 homers and 52 runs batted in only 36 games.
It doesn't seem to be a serious injury for John Lieber. Doctor told him after the surgery last year, just one of those things he's probably going to have to deal with for a while. It had been bothering him for a little while before the All-Star break, so now he'll get the 15 days to recover. It's retroactive to July 11th. So really, he only has to miss another week. Second time through the order here as Terrio fouls it back. So I'm not kidding here. I mean, with the Astros starter on the mound, it would sound like a joke. I actually had a molar removed, M-O-L-A-R, to start the break, and the oral surgeon who took it out said it was one of the biggest teeth he's ever seen. Not to brag or anything, but I was excited to hear that as I was under the local anesthesia.
Glad you got that taken care of. You're quite a gamer finishing up that first half of the season with a bad tooth. Nobody likes a toothache, and you continued to grind right through it, partner. Nice going.
Well, I appreciate it. I think I've avoided the dry socket. You've had your wisdom teeth removed. You know all about that.
Put my finger in a dry socket one time. Had a heck of a shot.
Be careful. Toward the gap, and Terrio now with an 11-game streak. On his way to second base, he's going to make the turn and not take any chances with 2 outs.
Possibly a little 2-out lighting. That's the changeup from Moeller. He left it in the middle of the plate for Ryan Terrio, and he splits that gap in left center field. Easy double off the bat for Ryan Terrio. Saw him actually take a look over his shoulder there to make sure how many outs there were in an inning before he put on the brakes at second base. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. A base runner going between first and second, taking the time to look at the scoreboard out in right center field.
Not quite Manny Ramirez high-fiving the fan as he retrieved the ball in left field, but close enough. Called strike on Kosuke. He flied to center his first time up. Really like to see him get back to his early season form. Struggled to end the first half. His batting average, on base percentage, and slugging have all gone down every month. Came in hitting just 167 here in July. One thing Lou has noted is he just hasn't been as patient. That pitch he swung at right there, not a pitch he probably would have offered at before there were 2 strikes early in the season. Lou had a great time in New York. Especially enjoyed the parade in Manhattan on game day. Really enjoyed working with Clint Hurdle and his staff. And while I know Clint Hurdle wasn't that comfortable, nor was Terry Francona for the final 6 or 7 innings of that game, but I'm sure Lou was able to kind of sit back and say, Clint, it's your team. Do whatever you want.
For at least one day this summer, I don't have to make the decisions. my record is intact. The last National League manager not to lose an All-Star game.
Well, you're right. Fly to left. Carlos Lee is on the warning track, and he makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. 2-out double, no runs. Still no score.
It's not a dream. You are not hallucinating. You're witnessing the metamorphosis of a new network. WGN America. Keep your eyes here.
WGN America. TV you can't ignore.
Hey, everyone. Hey, I'm here to talk to you about 2 ways to save money. 1, by driving fuel-efficient cars, and 2, to let you know the 2008 Honda clearance is going on right now. Honda prides itself on building fuel-efficient cars and was named America's greenest automaker. So get out there and spread the word. The 2008 Honda clearance. And for some deals that can save you some green, go to shophonda.com. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I approve this message.
You know, I love our family tradition.
What's that?
The one where we pass our plates to the right.
When did that become a family tradition?
When you ordered that.
Try Olive Garden's new grilled garlic shrimp. Marinated shrimp topped with a roasted garlic glaze. Or try new grilled balsamic glazed chicken. Both served over angel hair pasta and homemade cream sauce. 2 new grilled dishes with endless salad and breadsticks.
I think I like this new family tradition.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Dare you to touch one. The LG Dare. Bold features, fearless design, 3G speed. On the network you want to be on. Verizon Wireless.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Your official summer baseball station is brought to you by Bud Light. Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming. Speaking of All-Stars, that looks like Jeff Bagwell, frozen in time outside the ballpark here in Houston. I don't think he's quite that tall in real life. Jeff Bagwell, surprisingly, when you stand up next to him, is not as big as you might think. His number retired high above the scoreboard in right field.
J.R. Tolles leading off for the Astros here in the last of the third. And Jeff Bagwell listed at 6 feet, 215 pounds.
Maybe a little bit of a stretch.
Craig Biggio's number will be right next to number 5. That's number 7. They're going to retire that number on Sunday, August 17th. That's the concourse. Jeff Bagwell and the patented crouch at the plate. Swing and a miss by Tolles.
Boy, and does it ever seem appropriate that Bagwell and Biggio's 2 numbers will be side by side retired up there above the right field scoreboard? They played so many games together here for the Houston Astros. It's still a little hard to realize they're not playing anymore.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Now, they might have to slide Bagwell over one slot and put Biggio to his right, since that's the way they played on the right side of the infield here.
How about this great note in the Astros game notes? Craig Biggio will join Mickey Mantle, the only players in history to have a number 7 jersey retired by their teams. 3,000th hit back in June of '07. And Bob, I just was a bystander. I got the conversation started as Brian Moeller's looking for his first hit. Every time I say that name, my mouth hurts. 2 strikes. I asked Darrell Ward, I had read that when he began his major league career as a very young player with the Astros, players like Bagwell would come up to Darrell and ask him for hitting advice. Now, he told me, he's like, I'm not a hitting coach as a player, but he said, if guys ask, I will tell them. He's very good about watching guys and their swings. And Jeff Bagwell in particular really relied on Darrell Ward to kind of help him out. Swing and the miss. Strike 3, 2 outs. And we got into a conversation. Mark DeRosa was there, Derek Lee, Ted Lilly, and they were talking about Bagwell's stance. And Mark DeRosa mimicked Bagwell's stance perfectly and how wide he would be. And Darryl said, I would notice when Bagwell would come up in his stance, and he said, it's the kind of thing that I would see because it was such a complicated routine that he had, but hitting coaches wouldn't always see it. And I think Cubs hitters in general rely on Darryl Ward to kind of watch their swing as well. Mark DeRosa said if you had to teach someone how to fundamentally hit like the perfect swing, he said I would show him Darryl Ward.
Pretty high praise.
Yeah.
It gets back to what we were talking about earlier in the first half of the season. A lot of times when a hitter gets into a little bit of a funk at the plate, certainly the hitting coach is going to do everything in his power to help the guy snap out of it. But a lot of times it's that on-deck hitter, the guy who follows you in the lineup, who watches you closely every at-bat over the course of a season, who will first note when something has changed.
2-1 on Matsui. 4 strikeouts for Ted Lilly. The first time through the order. The 3-1. Left center. Kind of like the Terrier hit. Matsui will end up at second base at the very least. He's going to try for 3. And he will get there without a relay throw. Matsui with his first triple of the year.
This ball by Matsui very near the spot that Ryan Theriot hit his, maybe a little bit more towards center field. It got into that corner area out there in left center. By the time Edmonds picked it up and got it back to Ryan Theriot, Matsui sliding into third base with a triple. You'll see that area I'm talking about out there. Right there, just tucks away back in the corner. By the time Edmonds gets it back into Theriot, there's no play at third base. Ryan wisely hangs on to the ball.
2 outs in the inning. Good block by Soto. And to borrow your line, there are no bad blocks with a runner at third.
That's for sure. And another line I have is that's the same as an RBI. He just kept the other team from scoring a run, which is, in my eyes, the same thing as driving in a run for your own team. Perfect form that time. As that 5-hole block, chin on chest. Keep that ball close to home plate. Do not allow that runner to score from third.
Fontenot moving just a bit to his left. He gets it to Derek Lee in plenty of time, and the inning is over. First time the Astros had a runner in scoring position, but they do not get him home.
You just randomly out there.
What was that?
It's nothing. Yeah.
Every sip gets you closer to clothing, vacations, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Get Pepsi Stuff points on specially marked Pepsi or Diet Pepsi 24-ounce 6-packs for a free Amazon MP3 music download.
Hey, look, I know your fancy little gizmo here is going to tell you to take the highway because it seems faster, but trust me, I've been doing this a long time, and I got a little shortcut. The next light, you're going to want to take a look. Left. Okay, but here's the part no one knows. You're going to want to take the second left. But you can't go straight this time of day, so you're going to want to...
They're right. Park Street.
Park Street is...
Is that a new suit?
With its exclusive IQ routes, the new TomTom Go uses real drive times to calculate the fastest route. TomTom, go confidently.
When my doctor told me I had to lower my cholesterol, I was shocked. I worried about the foods I'd have to eat. But you do what you have to.
My wife insists I eat whole grain oats to help lower my cholesterol. I made the commitment for her.
I was told eating certain foods can help lower my cholesterol. I guess it's a sacrifice I have to make.
Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
No one said it would be easy. Be happy, be healthy.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Time for tonight's AT&T text poll question. As we start the second half, we ask you, what is your favorite highlight from the Cubs' first half? Text to 97999. A for the Reed Johnson catch in D.C. The Soto inside the park home run is B. C for the Jim Edmonds catch. D, Aramis Ramirez's walk-off home run against the White Sox. And E for Mark DeRosa's homer to cap the huge comeback versus the Rockies. Poll brought to you by the new AT&T. See what's new at the new AT&T. Visit att.com for details. Carlos Lee retires Derek Lee for the second time. What was your favorite first half moment?
Oh, boy.
On that list.
We'll narrow it down. I'd have to go with the Reed Johnson catch. It was just so improbable. That's such a long way to run with shading the opposite way.
Well, believe it or not, they had it queued up.
How about that? Going full speed, fully extended, and the way he ends up with the cap. Yeah, that's priceless right there. Just a coincidence they happen to have that little clip down there.
One strike on Aramis, going with the high sock look again. You know, I like the Ramirez walk-off home run. I don't know if we have that one in the vault. Oh, here it is.
Ask and ye shall receive.
Yeah, straight away center.
Pretty tough to beat a walk-off home run, especially against the Sox.
Cubs swept on the north side that weekend. We'll have the results a little bit later on. He fought that one off, muscled it out into left center, and it will be caught by Erstad. As Lee had to go down to a knee. Well, not much going and a lot of early outs against Moeller here in the early going. He just reached the 40-pitch mark, and we're in the fourth inning.
Carlos Lee gives way at the last moment to the center fielder, Darren Erstad. Fly ball priorities. That center fielder is considered the captain of the outfield. Anything he can get to, he's supposed to take.
High curveball called a strike on Soto, who did go to Yankee Stadium as a youngster. He was born in Puerto Rico from age 4 to 7. Gio's family lived in the Bronx, spent a year in Ocala, Florida, and then went back to Puerto Rico. But it was very special for him to not only be at the All-Star game, but to be the starter behind the plate.
And, you know, I mentioned my son Michael's host family in Boise, Jim and Linda Lau. Giovanni Soto slept on their couch. He had one game in Boise in rookie ball and crashed there with the host family on the couch for the night, and poof, he was gone. On his route to the big leagues.
Well, maybe that'll rub off on Michael.
Certainly hope so.
Catcher in the Cubs chain. Two on Soto, trying to keep the inning alive. Edmonds on deck. Little floater, and that'll be handled by Tejada. Cubs with just 2 hits through the first 4. Bottom 4 scoreless.
Tonight, after the break, the Cubs All-Stars are set to shine against the Astros. Tonight at 8 on WGN America.
The wildest, baddest, most outrageous show on television is coming to late night.
It's a celebration.
Chappelle's Show.
Tonight at midnight East, 9 West on WGN America.
Bud Light is brewed to give you everything you want in a beer. Never-ending refreshment, superior drinkability, and now, X-Ray Vision. X-Ray Vision no longer available in Bud Light.
Let's go somewhere else.
The superior drinkability, however, remains.
Bud Light keeps it coming.
summer vacation deals are here. Right now on Expedia, get the hottest deals on more than 1,800 hotels. That's up to 30% off during our biggest sale of the year. We guarantee nobody can get you a lower price. Plus, book now with your MasterCard and get $50 for gas. Expedia.com.
Emmett, your gray facial hair has put you in a rocking chair.
Your beard is weird.
Just for Men Gel
Gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes.
His edge is back. He scores! Just for men. Keep your edge.
Hey, Cubs fans, don't forget to check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. Click on the sports link. Look for Len and Bob's baseball blog on the blog tonight. I have a post about some of these second half keys. And I echo a lot of Bob's sentiments from the open. Game notes from our friends at Stats. And also several paragraphs in memoriam on our good friend Dustin Eggleseder. Lance Berkman leading off for the Astros. Each team with 2 hits. Fly ball to center. And good to keep Berkman off base. He was 0 for 2. I was surprised to see Berkman hitting left-handed in the home run derby. He said originally he was just going to hit righty. Didn't want to mess around with his more frequent swing, but I guess it felt comfortable in batting practice, so he decided to hit lefty.
And where's the short porch, Lance? Right. Unless you're going to go oppo, batting as a right-handed hitter. Now, if they had the home run derby here in this ballpark, I could see he's going up there as a right-hander.
To go off on a tangent. 1 strike on Carlos Lee. I understand that they're trying to craft a TV show. But Josh Hamilton had to be really tired. He should have won the derby. I mean, he was a sentimental favorite. He hit, what was it, 28 home runs in the first round? His arms were tired. Have the first round, go right to the finals, maybe make it 5 outs. You could even go sudden death in the finals. You keep swinging until you make it out. That's it. But that's a shame he didn't win.
How about Josh Hamilton's batting practice pitcher there? The gentleman's last name was Council. I forget his first name. 71 years old. He was probably getting a little arm weary out there as well.
2-2. Pitchers on their game tonight. The hitters on both sides have been pretty aggressive. High fly. Well, good place for that ball. A little bit to the left, and that might end up in the Crawford boxes, or at least off the out-of-town scoreboard. He only hit it about 345 feet, but that's all it takes. It's 315 down the line. Let's put it this way. A warning track shot here to left is not like a warning track shot at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, not at all. I mean, if you have a left fielder with a strong throwing arm, you could conceivably throw somebody out from the warning track on this ballpark. Well, it definitely makes it interesting. I mean, a lot of the newer ballparks over the last 5 to 10 years have incorporated nooks and crannies. Certainly Towles Hill here, the Crawford boxes, but there's a lot of pitchers that aren't real enamored with those Crawford boxes.
The thing I do like about this ballpark is that if you can pitch to center and right center, you're going to be fine. It's not easy to hit a ball out really from left center all the way around. You don't see a ton of home runs hit to right. I guess theoretically you try to load up with right-handers in this park on the mound. Edmonds, no problem. So Lilly has retired the last 4 since the 2-out double by Matsui in the 3rd. 0-0 after 4 innings.
You just randomly out.
What was that?
Nothing. Yeah.
gets you closer to clothing, vacations, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Get Pepsi Stuff points on specially marked Pepsi or Diet Pepsi 24-ounce 6-packs for a free Amazon MP3 music download.
We really balance each other well.
The balance is ridiculous.
Yeah, because like he motivates me to get going, do things. When he, starts to get a little type A, I'll bring him down a little bit. Lee has a powerful drive within him.
I'm an intense guy. I always have a full plate. She'll tell me, Lee, relax, you can't control this.
I think that difference between us is what makes us so great together.
See how it feels to be matched based on compatibility. Log on and review your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
There's a new shrink in Mumford.
What can you tell me about this?
But he's the one who needs the help.
Check this guy out. I smell a rat, I'm telling you.
Mumford. Saturday at 3.
Saturday night on WGN America. Break time's over. Carlos Quentin and the White Sox are back to work against KC. Royals, Sox. Saturday night at 7 Eastern on WGN America. Chappelle Show. Tonight at midnight East, 9 West on WGN America. Keep your eyes here.
And now a look at our upcoming WGN-produced baseball schedule in high definition. Sponsored by Comcast. Tomorrow the Sox host Kansas City at 6 on WGN. We'll have the series finale here. Cubs and the Astros Sunday at 1 o'clock Central. And then the White Sox host the Texas Rangers Monday night at 7 on WCIU Channel 26. Still looking for that first run tonight. Turned away Jim Edmonds, ball 1. Cubs and the Astros have split the first 6 in this season series. They'll play a total of 18 times. And after this weekend, we'll next see Houston at Wrigley Field in early August. Is fouled back. We mentioned Bagwell in the very unique batting stance. Jim Edmonds not quite the same, but he is pretty spread out. And a lot of hitters with that front foot, they go forward. Now you see Edmonds really kind of turns his heel back a little bit. Bagwell literally lifted his front foot. And as Mark DeRosa explained it, it's almost like a recoil. His front foot goes back as he loads up. Or as he loaded up, because he's now retired.
It was a very unusual approach. It certainly worked well for Jeff Bagwell.
And Mark said it was a comfortable stance, and as I said, he mimicked it perfectly in the clubhouse today. Not for everybody.
But illustrating the point that there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's no one exact way everybody has to stand at the plate in order to be an effective hitter. You have to find what works for you. Certainly there are some basic mechanics that need to be in place, but find something that's comfortable.
That ball is gonna get out. That certainly worked for Jim Edmonds. Crawford box home run. And as you mentioned earlier, he has really hurt Brian Moeller in the past. That's his 6th career home run against Moeller, and the Cubs lead 1-0. Jim knows this park. He's a left-handed hitter, but hit it the other way. Career homer 373.
Well, that's where his natural power is now at this stage of his career. That's the 6th home run in 36 at-bats against Brian Moeller. I'm pretty sure he got all that one, or at least got enough of it to get it into those Crawford boxes. You don't have to get all of it to hit it out of the ballpark in that direction. I'm still waiting for Kosuke to take one to the opposite field here. Last time we were in Houston, I predicted that Kosuke was going to have a big series and was going to go deep over the Crawford box.
It's deep the other way for DeRosa, but that's just an out to right as Prince hauls it in.
which is down and out over the plate where he can get extension. Got the barrel of the bat on the ball. That's really all you need to do to hit the ball that direction in this park.
It's Edmonds' 28th career homer against the Astros. Just broke a tie for second with his teammate Aramis Ramirez for most career homers versus the Astros. Among active players, Albert Pujols has 33. 1-0 on Fontenot. The pitch. Another one deep the other way. Almost out. It's off the board. Nice barehanded play by Carlos Lee. The tag applied late. Fontenot just got in. That's a double. Boy, a near home run turned into almost into an out.
Carlos Lee, not known for his defense, but he plays this ball perfectly off the wall out there in left field. You can see him slam on the brakes and retreat. Bare hands the carom off the wall. The throw just a little bit too late at second base. That's a pretty nice play for El Caballo. Can't do it much better than that. Just good hustle on the part of Mike Fontenot.
Ted Lilly batting with 1 out. Ball 1.
How well has Jim Edmonds hit Brian Moeller, you ask? He's 6 for his last 8 with 4 home runs and a double. Yeah, I think he's seeing him pretty good.
Outside corner, 1-1. Born in Rockingham, North Carolina. 6th round pick of the Tigers in 1993 out of North Carolina, Greensboro. Was Detroit's opening day starter in 1999. He won the Tigers' final game ever at Tiger Stadium. He's been with the Tigers, the Reds, the Marlins, and the Astros.
14-game winner with the Tigers in 1998. That's his career high in wins for a season.
He's pitched well this year as a starter. 5-4 with a 397. Much better in the rotation than he was as a reliever. With an ERA of 7.04 in 5 relief appearances. That bounced off, I think, the mask of the catcher Tolles and allows Fontenot to get to third base. So now if Lilly could make some good contact, as the Astros will probably move their infield in, they'll have a chance for an RBI.
It looked like that ball in the dirt caught Tolles somewhere in the mask. It looked like it knocked the mask right off. Yeah, hit him on the left side of the mask. He actually catches it on his way back to the backstop to get that wild pitch.
And the infield now is in. Outfield not very deep. And Ted cannot make contact. Strike 3. And while we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Next Friday, we got the film that put Arnold on the map. The Terminator.
I'll be back.
Enter the movie underground next Friday on WGN America.
Len and Bob and our WGN Sports crew. Traveling road show here in Houston. 10 of the first 14 coming out of the break will be on the road. This is not an easy stretch. Cubs lost 2 of 3 here in Houston back in May. They have historically struggled against the Diamondbacks, even though they swept them in Chicago earlier in the season. Cubs were swept in the season series by the Florida Marlins last year. And then to end the month, 4 big games at Milwaukee. It'll be our first trip to Wisconsin this season. outside. 3 balls, no strikes.
Len, in the open of the show, one of the keys I felt to the second half of the season was the continued solid play of Ryan Theriot. I did some number crunching myself, something I rarely do, and my numbers are probably wrong, but I'm in the ballpark here. All right? Last year in 148 ball games, Ryan Theriot was on base 205 times. Either base hit, hit by pitch, reach on an error, or base on balls. This year already, he's at 157 in the first half of the season. Part of that is the fact he's hitting much better this year, but also he's drawn 41 walks in half a season as opposed to 49 all year last year.
And there's another one.
And certainly for a guy like Ryan, who's a high motor, high energy guy, we know he plays at 110% every day he puts that uniform on. I think Lou's going to be a little more careful with him in the second half of the season, pick his spots, maybe day games after night games, or back up a travel day with a day off to make sure his shortstop stays fresh right up until the end of the season this year.
Boy, among us Sabre dorks, you just got a lot of brownie points. Hey, the times on base is a great note for any hitter, but in particular guys like Ryan Theriot. That's a fantastic note. I also like the reach on an error note, because for guys like Ryan, you would expect he would get on a little bit more than other players because of how fast he is.
13 times last year he reached on an error. One and one on Kosuke.
Not saying Moeller specifically worked around Theriot, but because of how Theriot's been hot and Kosuke has struggled, I don't think Moeller minded necessarily walking Theriot, who runs, and it's popped up into center. So Kosuke has now flied out all 3 times. They do get the lead on the Edmonds leadoff home run. It's 1-0 Cubs.
Why do you insist on following so closely? Is this a parade?
Enough help for one day?
Tailgating this guy.
A clean, comfortable room for the lowest price of any national chain is always nearby.
I don't know, it's unnerving.
Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you.
Me? Well, I help save people money on car insurance, and I support wildlife conservation. I'm actually working with the Association of Zoos and Aquariums right now. I'm going to be making the rounds of a whole bunch of aquariums. And you? I mean, I'll be honest, it is very hard to talk with you. I mean, where exactly is your face? Is that it? No, that's your belly button, isn't it?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Become one with molten chocolate. Celebrate your right to indulge. It's time for Warm Delights Minis. Just seconds in the microwave, 150 calories, and you'll see how something so mini can take you so far.
The best summer vacation deals are here. Right now on Expedia, get the hottest deals on more than 1,800 hotels. That's up to 30% off during our biggest sale of the year. We guarantee nobody can get you a lower price. Plus, book now with your MasterCard and get $50 for gas. Expedia.com.
WGN America. TV you can't ignore.
There's another look at our AT&T text poll question. Last chance to vote for your favorite highlight from the first half. A lot of great choices. Jim Edmonds with a leadoff home run into the Crawford boxes and left, and the Cubs lead 1-0.
I'll tell you, my favorite highlight from this ball game is the Jim Edmonds home run. It's been a real quiet offensive night for both ball clubs.
Strike on Pence. Laid off that pitch in the dirt. 5 of the 6 meetings between these two teams have been decided by 2 runs or less. So they've been pretty close. Cubs with their best record through 95 games since they were 57-38 back in 1977. High one bouncer to Ramirez, has to hurry. Safe. Pence just beat it out. It's a little subtle thing by Hunter Pence, but he didn't lay out and dive head first. We'll never know if he would have been safe, but you claim, and I think most people do, that if you just run all the way through, you're going to get there faster, and that's what Pence did.
Yeah, run through the base, not to the base. That's another important point. If you want to get there as quick as possible, imagine the base is 10 feet further down the line. A lot of guys run and take that last big jump at the bag at first base. Just keep accelerating right through the bag.
So he's on with nobody out. First time the Astros have had the leadoff man on base.
The good base runners will always try to hit that very front edge, and it looks like Pence might have just scraped a toenail against the front edge of that bag right there.
Tell you, he might have been out. Unless that front toe actually caught the base when he hit the dirt originally.
Pence certainly has base stealing speed, as he just demonstrated running down the first baseline, but he's not a great base stealer yet. 5 successful stolen bases this year. He's been caught 7 times.
Off the inside corner. And Lily's now behind Ty Wigginton. For the first time ever, the Cubs finished the first half with the top record in baseball, again tied with the Angels. They're hosting the Red Sox tonight. But you don't get a trophy for that. Once the season's over, nobody's going to remember or care who had the best record at the All-Star break. Zambrano tomorrow night. Ryan Dempster on Sunday. They have Pence picked off. Got it. They'll go 1 to 3 to 6 to get Pence.
He just guessed his first movement that time, and Ted Lilly picks him cleanly. Nice quick tag by Ryan Theriot. Maybe they got him. The ball beat him to second base.
Popped up by Wigginton on the infield. Easy play for Lee. Just like that, 2 outs. Got to keep the voting fair, so we're going to show all the nominees for highlight from the first half. Mark DeRosa against the Rockies, capping that huge comeback. They were down 9-1, and they beat them 10-9. On May 30th. It's 6-run 7th. Remember earlier in that inning, Henry Blanco hit his only home run of the season.
It's been a tough night for catcher's masks. Well, J.R. Tolles get his knocked off on a wild pitch in the dirt, and that time Gio had the bird cage knocked off by a foul ball. Well, those ones that get down near that throat protector, down around the chin area, those you still take the brunt of that right on the point of the chin. Those pads you see all around the cheeks and the chin area and up near the forehead, it's meant to diffuse the impact of the blow, but when you get them down near that throat guard, it feels like somebody punches you right in the chin.
Foul back our way. Tolles back in the major leagues because Humberto Quintero went on the disabled list in early July with a concussion. Tolles really scuffled his first stint this season in the majors. 17 for 117. That's a 145 average. And he's currently at 146. Swings and misses, strikes out for the second time. Leadoff infield single, but no runs. It's 1-0 Cubs to the 6th.
In the tradition of great police dramas comes a show that's not even close to any of those shows.
Slipped in poop.
It's a crime.
Never actually kicked a block home.
But they're cops.
Reno 911, tonight at 1 East, 10 West on WGN America.
Hey, Mr. Opportunity here. I've got some really good economic news for you. It's Honda clearance time. The perfect time to get your hands on a brand new Honda. Why Honda? Well, because they last a long time and have better residual value than other cars. True. Look at that legal down below. And that means you can keep more of your money. I live for this stuff. The 2008 Honda clearance. For plenty of ways to keep more of your money, go to shophonda.com. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I approve this message.
Hey, look, I know your fancy little gizmo here is going to tell you to take the highway because it seems faster, but trust me, I've been doing this a long time, and I got a little shortcut. The next light, you're going to want to take a look. Left. Okay, but here's the part no one knows. You're going to want to take the second left. But you can't go straight this time of day, so you're going to want to...
Bear right. Park Street.
Park Street is...
Is that a new suit?
With its exclusive IQ routes, the new TomTom Go uses real drive times to calculate the fastest route. TomTom, go confidently.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Dad.
Nice fork.
It's not a fork. It's a Dairy Queen.
Ooh, then can I get a Blizzard?
Here you go.
And a hot dog?
Sure.
How did you... Oh.
Thank you.
Honey, you're not going to believe...
Good, you got him. We stopped at DQ and picked up your favorites. Well, then next week I
Nice trot. Morgan?
Believe it. The Girl Scout Cookie Blizzard. New at DQ with real pieces of Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies.
Check out tonight's Honda Accord game summary. Not much offense between these two teams. The only run coming on a Jim Edmonds solo home run leading off the 5th inning. Just 3 hits for the Astros. Ted Lilly coming back after his shortest start of the season. He's been solid. Kosuke Fukudome with a couple of nice catches out and right.
Yeah, one ball was kind of knuckling on him, tried to get away. Ty Wigginton making a bid for extra bases. Kosuke able to run that one down. Then Jim Edmonds. The offense so far in the ball game, at least offense, it resulted in a run. The solo bomb into the Crawford boxes in left field.
So we get into the 6th. Lee Ramirez and Soto versus Brian Moeller. And if anybody gets on, it'll be Edmonds. Cubs beat Moeller on May 19th. He gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. Pulled on the ground, foul. I love talking to Derek Lee. He gives you the honest truth every time. I said, were you disappointed not to make the All-Star team? He said, you know, you always want to go, but I didn't deserve it this year. I said, well, I disagree. I think your numbers were good enough. He said, oh, the other guys were better. Did enjoy the break with his family. He's been to the All-Star game 3 times. Sorry, 2 times. Would have been his 3rd time. Cubs were well represented. They had 8 All-Stars, most by a National League team since the 1960 Pirates. He reached out that time. He's hustling, but he's going to be thrown out. Nice play by Tejada and Berkman at the other end.
Derek Lee with a .306 batting average, 15 homers and 56 RBI in the first half of the season. Pretty darn good.
It's Berkman an all-star. Tejada as well. Those are tough positions. Aramis Ramirez, an all-star. You think about the shortstops and first basemen in this league. So you had Berkman, Pujols, who was the DH, and Adrian Gonzalez. And at first base, Hanley Ramirez and Tejada at short. Aramis walked in his only plate appearance. Ryan Dempster played closer again. Struck out the side in the bottom of the ninth. No pressure. Home field advantage in the World Series on the line. Don't make a mistake. Go get him.
That's a change-up grip, by the way, that he's got right there.
And when Carlos Marmol warmed up for the bottom of the 13th, his teammate Giovanni Soto warmed him up between innings. He was long removed from the game. But Gio gave him a little pep talk, and Carlos worked a scoreless inning. 2 strikeouts. Fly to deep center for Darren Erstad. Marmol was an injury replacement for Kerry Wood. Joe Girardi warmed up Mariano Rivera.
Pretty sure he did not warm up Jonathan Papelbon.
Fisted foul by Soto. Oh, it was a heck of a ball game. I don't suppose Dan Uggla enjoyed his break. 3 strikeouts and a double play ball at the plate and 3 errors and extras. And Kerry Wood watched every second of it. You know he wanted to pitch 4 hours, 50 minutes, 15 innings, but he was unavailable with the finger blister. Feeling better. We're not sure if he's available tonight or not. I guess if the Cubs maintain their 1-0 lead late, we'll find out. High fly. That sounded pretty good. A lot of real estate out there. And right at the edge of the hill, Erstad makes a catch. Soto gave it a ride, but that's a long out. Bottom 6, 1-0.
Break time's over. Carlos Quentin and the White Sox are back to work against KC. Saturday night at 7 Eastern on WGN America.
Just this room, wall-to-wall in teal.
Exactly. And, you know, if you got a little extra carpet lying around, there might be a little something extra for you.
I'll see what I have.
Hey, you're home early. What do you think?
Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming.
Very easy, honey.
Honey, if you want to get rid of your gray hair, try my hair color. It's really easy.
Women's hair color can take 30 minutes. Just for men takes 5.
No one will notice.
Earth colors every hair. Just for men, Target's only gray. The truth is, men need just for men.
How do we do the soup, salad, and breadsticks lunch at Olive Garden? We start with a salad, then pass around the breadsticks, and finish with the perfect bite.
Our unlimited fresh salad, homemade soup, and warm breadsticks lunch, just $5.95, only at Olive Garden.
It's not a dream. You are not hallucinating. You're witnessing the metamorphosis of a new network. WGN America. Keep your eyes here.
There's a new shrink in Mumford.
What can you tell me about this?
But he's the one who needs the help.
Check this guy out. I smell a rat, I'm telling you.
Mumford. Saturday at 3.
Time to see how you voted on tonight's AT&T text poll question. Your favorite highlight from the first half. And the winner, a pretty good margin, the Reed Johnson catch in Washington, D.C. Aramis Ramirez's walk-off homer against the White Sox not far behind. See what's new at the new AT&T. Visit att.com for details. Lilly gets down on the ground and throws out Moeller on a bunt attempt.
Never get tired of watching this catch. Boy, for those of you who appreciate effort on a baseball field, this is the very definition of all-out effort. As fast as he could run, as far as he could reach, no concern whatsoever for his own welfare. Crashing into that wall as he made that fine diving catch. Well, that one's going to be on the highlight reels forever.
In the bullpen, right up close and a personal view of that catch. 1 out in the inning. Ball 1 on Matsui. A struggle for the Astros offense. When you look at the middle of their lineup, and you thought they were going to score a lot of runs. They're only 12th in the NL in runs. They don't walk much, 280 walks, fewest in the league, second fewest strikeouts, so they've made a lot of contact. But as we saw a couple of years ago for the Cubs, that's not always a good thing. Sometimes you need a little less contact, more walks, maybe when you do make contact, some more home runs. They're only 8th in the league in home runs. I thought the Astros would hit more than the 96 they'd hit. Ontario surrounds it at short. He throws out Matsui. Pledge your allegiance to the Cubs by becoming a member of the Cubs Club, the official online fan club for the Chicago Cubs. Cubs Club members will get benefits unavailable to other fans, including your very own 2008 membership card. MLB.com's game day audio for the 2008 regular season and much more. To join today, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on.
What a shock. Lots of Cubs fans here in Houston to watch this series. As I was out in front of the hotel today to come over to the ballpark waiting on my ride, a series of 4 different carloads pulled in. Not together, just 4 individual carloads of Cub fans showing up at the hotel this afternoon.
What was your ride today? Stretch limo?
I missed the team bus, so actually I had to come over in a courtesy shuttle from the hotel. Okay.
Like a space shuttle? Oh, or the regular,
just a regular
van.
Okay. Now back at the old Astrodome, they might shoot you over there in a space shuttle, but not downtown.
Ball 4 as Osta takes the first walk of the night for the Astros. Pretty good with a pitch count. All the starters working on good rest after the 4-day break. Berkman, he has lined out to short, flied to center, and he takes the pitch high. Got to be careful here. He leads the majors in slugging at .653. Leads the National League in total bases, tied for first with 55 extra base hits. At the knees, good location, 1-1.
And getting back to the struggles of the Astros offensively, just briefly here, I think with Hunter Pence hitting .322 last year in 108 ball games, and Michael Bourne also projected to be at the top of the order, I think the lack of success by those 2 guys has affected this team as much as anything else.
And they haven't got a lot of production behind the plate, and only 8 home runs from third base, which is normally a power spot. End of 6, 1-0.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer.
Every sip gets you closer to Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
KDU. HD TVs, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Get Pepsi Stuff points on specially marked Pepsi or Diet Pepsi 24-ounce 6-packs for a free Amazon MP3 music download.
Hello, may I help you?
Yes, Clyde and Keith to see Emmett Smith. Emmett, your gray facial hair has put you in a rocking chair. Your beard is weird. Your stash is trash. Oh, it's bad.
Just for Men Gel penetrates tough gray and puts it away in 5 easy minutes. His edge is back.
He's right on track.
Backfield in motion.
He moves and grooves. He scores! Just for Men Gel. Keep your edge.
Is that the famous to-do list?
That's right.
I'll take a while.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to lower my cholesterol.
And how long is that going to take?
Oh, 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
I'm going to be done with this by then.
You are on, baby.
Okay.
Huh. Still not done yet, huh?
Cheerios helped you. I'm on my own out here.
I can see that.
Help lower your cholesterol 4% in just 6 weeks with Cheerios cereal. Cheerios, now's the time.
Where do we begin? At the beginning.
Time for tonight's Bud Light Fan Cam as we start the second half of the season. The handcuffs all shine on.
Turn it around and start again. To the back and the bottom, and then we will all shine on and stay where all the good things find you. Time takes time. Where does it go?
Our good friends, the handcuffs with All Shine On.
Especially appropriate tonight since Ted Lilly has handcuffed this Astros offense.
Look at that. Edmonds. Skies to short left. Carlos Lee to catch. Ted Lilly has been solid tonight. Berkman 0 for 3. Lee 0 for 2. Normally, when you say Berkman and Lee are hitless, that's a good sign if you come in here with Eastern. DeRosa's fouled out and flied out. 11 home runs, already more than his total for 2007. Rich Hill, Cubs left-handers, had a rough year back in the minor leagues. Was slated to pitch for Single-A Daytona last night. They got rained out, so he pitched tonight. I saw early he was throwing well, but in the end, 4 1/3 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 were earned. He walked 3 and struck out 6. Now, a lot of times in starts like this, for a guy like Rich Hill, it's not necessarily about the numbers. The numbers not good tonight for Hill. Fontenot on deck, 2 strikes on DeRosa. Called strike 3. Here's the update on Alfonso Soriano on the disabled list with the broken left hand. Took some batting practice before the ball game. The tentative plan, if things continue to go well, BP this weekend. And probably Monday, he'll get in a game at Mesa. They can supply balls as well tonight. And then a couple of AAA games as Iowa will be at Tucson Tuesday and Wednesday. And then he could be ready to go when we return home on Thursday to play the Marlins. So that's the plan.
Alfonso Soriano does return to the Cubs lineup, and hopefully it'll be shortly. That'll free up Mark DeRosa once again to fulfill that super utility role. I would assume he's going to get a lot of playing time at second base, but if Lou should choose to do so, he could plug him in at third base and give Ramos a day off from time to time, plug him into right field, even first base for Derek Lee if he chose to. I mean, there's a reason this team is put together the way it is, and when all the pieces are together on the field, everybody gets into their more comfortable, more natural role with the ball club. I think that's kind of why some of the guys ran out of gas a little bit at the end of the first half. Lou just didn't have all his pieces in place. He was forced to play guys a lot more than he wanted to. But with the return of Soriano, providing everybody else stays healthy, I think you'll see some guys getting occasional rest from time to time.
Erstad drifts back again. He makes the catch. Pontino out. A couple of deep flyouts to center here the last 2 innings. Stretch time from Houston. Cubs 1, Astros nothing.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Is anybody else a doctor?
Scrubs, 7 nights a week at 11 East, 8 West on WGN America. Brought to you in part by Vagisil. 100% woman, 100% of the time.
Hey, we landed. In the middle of the road. Hop in, there's room.
There's one thing. We're nudish.
Wow.
Ugh.
Rear view camera. Ride ready. The new Pilot, only from Honda.
Well, I married my dream girl, but she didn't tell me her credit was bad. So now instead of living in a pleasant suburb, we're living in the basement at her mom and dad's. No, we can't get a loan for a respectable home, just because my girl defaulted on some old credit card. If we'd gone to freecreditreport.com, I'd be a happy bachelor with a dog and a yard.
Offer applies with enrollment and Triple Advantage.
It's not a dream. You are not hallucinating. You're witnessing the metamorphosis of a new network. WGN America. Keep your eyes here.
Time to have a ball with our friends from the Illinois Lottery. As we remember Dustin Eggleseder, who won the inaugural Ultimate 7th inning stretch competition.
Out to the crowd, buy me some peanuts. I don't care if I ever get back for its root. Root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame for it. Strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some more runs.
And again, Dustin passed away earlier this week from bone cancer, and we send our sympathies out to his entire family back in Guttenberg, Iowa, as we play the bottom of the 7th here from Houston. And Bob, it was just such a great surprise to see Dustin at the Cubs convention this year as he reprised his rendition. And we texted back and forth with Dustin over the last few months. And he was always watching the Cubs as Carlos Lee has just tied it way out. Back up onto the tracks, and it's 1-1. His 22nd home run. Only one swing of the bat. It's a new ball game. Well, you can hit some cheap home runs into the Crawford boxes. That one was far from cheap. Way over the boxes.
Well, no glass out there in left field. That ball ends up on Crawford Street. Just absolutely mashed to straightaway left field.
Tejada with a solid single to right. So back-to-back hits for the first time tonight for the home team. Ted Lilly's a fly ball pitcher. He is going to give up home runs. And Carlos Lee able to get him here.
He just kind of disappeared up there over the train tracks.
Well, you're right. That's on the street if it's open. Yep. And for Lee, that is his third home run this year and his 25th career blast against the Cubs. Doesn't matter what uniform he wears, he always finds a way to hurt the Northsiders. Whether it was with the White Sox, the Brewers, or now the Astros. Smothered by Giovanni Soto. You know, Carlos Lee is not an above-average defender, but he does get some help with the short fence out and left. Made a really nice play earlier. I think he is in that category of guys who probably doesn't get the credit he deserves because of the contract he signed, a 6-year, $100 million deal prior to 2007. We can debate whether he's worth as much as he makes. The bottom line is, Bob, he's an elite offensive player. And what we see every time we play one of his teams is that you generally like to pitch around them if you can.
And no matter what lineup he's in or who's around him in that lineup, he's a guy that you always have to keep an eye out for. Well, I still go back to the first at-bat of the ball game when Ted Lilly threw 2 fastballs right on the inside corner and didn't get the call on either one of them. Against Big El Caballo, you have to be able to establish inside for strikes. If you're forced to pitch out over the plate to Carlos Lee, that's what's going to happen eventually. I'm kind of surprised that Cecil Cooper didn't put down a bunt with Hunter Pence, a guy who's been struggling offensively off and on all year long. Now, granted, it is the bottom of the Astros order, but Brian Moeller has gone 7 strong innings. Well, that's why he didn't bunt, I guess.
3 straight hits, and we might see some action in the pen. As looked like Lou told Larry to make a phone call.
Well, my point being, when you've had a pitcher's duel through 7 innings of a ball game, and suddenly you tie it up on one swing of the bat, the next guy gets a base hit, it seems to me like that's the point of the ball game where you make your run. You make a push to score that go-ahead run, turn it over to your bullpen, hope they can bring it home.
The Astros had 3 knocks in the first 6 innings, and they have doubled that total already with 3 in the 7th. Hey, Cubs fans, we want to remind you that you can get official Cubs text and video alerts on your mobile phone. Text Get Cubs to 65246. Neil Kotz getting up in the bullpen. Chad Godin has joined Kotz. So a righty and a lefty. Ryan Ludwig just hit a 3-run homer. Greg Maddux to tie that game in St. Louis. 6-6. They're in the bottom of the 5th. Padres and the Cardinals tonight. Here it's 1-1. Edmonds and Carlos Lee with solo home runs for their respective teams. Jeff Geary up for the Astros. And Houston threatening here. And, you know, Geary's throwing because that pitcher spot not too far off in the distance. 1-2. The Mets lost tonight 5-2 in Cincinnati, so the 10-game winning streak for New York is now over. They went into action tonight, tied for first in the East with the Phillies, who lead in the 9th at Florida 4-2. Florida's only a game and a half out. Tampa Bay with a 2-1 win, got 2 in the 7th to beat the Blue Jays to end Tampa Bay's 7-game losing streak. So they're now tied with the Red Sox, who will play in Anaheim tonight. A lot of good races. And he spins. Tejada was not too far off second base. It's Tolles on deck. Now 1-2. Well, it's been a busy half inning for Soto.
The thing is, as a catcher, when you're ahead in the count, you throw that breaking ball. This is where you want it. You don't want Ted Lilly to hang that breaking ball over the heart of the plate. Throw it down low in the zone, break it in the dirt, hope to get a swinging strike from Wigginton, and Ted Lilly has the ultimate confidence that Giovanni Soto is going to block that low breaking ball.
Pop foul out of play. Huge crowd tonight. Don't have the exact number, but we are told it's a sellout. It's their 11th sellout of the year. Bouncer to Ramirez. Foul. Well, that's too bad. That's a 5-3 double play otherwise.
And remember, it's not where Aramis Ramirez's body is. It's where is the ball when he touches it. See that high chopper right down the third base line, and the ball is clearly in foul territory. What a nice effort anyway. Led him right to the bag.
Wigginton really making Ted work. Got him on the swing for strike 3. Half dozen strikeouts for Lilly.
Good hard slider. It appeared inside. Maybe a cut fastball inside to Wigginton. Just tied him up. Yeah, that's the four-seam fastball off the inside corner.
And the struggling J.R. Tolles, who has struck out twice tonight, will not bat. It'll be veteran Mark Loretto, the pinch hit. So Brad Ausmus will get on the catcher's gear. Unless he pinch hits in the inning, that's possible, with the pitcher spot coming up after Loretto.
Loretta 5 for 14 this season with a home run and 6 runs batted in as a pinch hitter for Cecil Cooper.
Fontenot sneaking in behind second base. The pitch, ball 1. Mark Loretta's from California, born in Santa Monica, but he went to Northwestern. Has a business degree. Fly to center. Edmonds with a beat on it. Tejada tagging from second base. He'll end up at third, but there are 2 gone.
Time for today's AM/PM. Too much good stuff. Up till now, Ted Lilly has had all kinds of good stuff in this ball game. Real good over-the-top breaking ball working. Has spotted his fastball well for the most part. Our AM/PM too much good stuff. Even capped it off with a pickoff. Pretty good defense as well. Ted Lilly, too much good stuff. Thank you, AM/PM.
Now another pinch hitter, switch hitter Jeff Blum. So Cecil Cooper will have to use at least 3/5 of his bench here in this inning if you count Ausmus coming in to catch for Tolles. We saw Loretta pinch hit. Now Blum for the pitcher Moeller. And after Ausmus comes in, the only two guys he'll have left, Bourne and Newham from the left side.
Bringing up the pinch hitter in this situation, for all intent and purposes, takes the stolen base away from Hunter Pence at first base. No way you want to waste one of your best pinch hitters off the bench and have a guy get thrown out at second base with 2 outs in the inning.
Bounced foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not a good percentage for Pence. 5 for 12. In stolen bases, so he's been caught more times than he's been successful.
And Blum not having a great offensive year, hitting .213 overall, but 6 for 20 as a pinch hitter. Done a nice job in this role.
Go-ahead run is Tejada at third inside. Stay tuned. The WGN News follows the ball game.
Well, if you're Ted Lilly, this is where you empty the tank right here. His spot is due to lead off in the top half of the 8th inning. No doubt he'll be taken down for a pinch hitter. Whatever you got left, give it to Jeff Blum.
Too low, 3-1. Kaz Matsui is on deck. He has a triple on his record tonight and had 5 straight 2-hit games going into the break, so he can make it 6 in a row with another hit late. And the bases are loaded. All 3 of our broadcasts this weekend will be going to Japan. Kosuke Fukudome in the lineup, Kaz Matsui in there. For the Astros, Lou coming out. Matsui hitting .343 right-handed, .260 from the left side. He's had a lot more of his at-bats left-handed. He's going to leave the starter in. The pitch count not a big concern, but as you said, with the way the lineup is situated, this will be it for Lilly here in the 7th, one way or the other. So here we go. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a 1-1 tie. The pitch to Matsui. A strike. Cubs were interested in Kaz Matsui before he signed with Houston over the winter. That's foul behind Tejada. Matsui signed a 3-year contract. He's been on the DL twice this season. Lilly trying to put him away and get out of this jam. Here's the 0-2. Busted him inside. Are you more careful to throw that pitch with the bases loaded in this spot? I mean, ideally, that's what you try to do with 2 strikes, but do you worry about hitting a guy?
I think you have to commit to the pitch. I mean, certain hitters will stand there and take that one off the left arm. We've seen Reed Johnson do that several times. There's a lot of guys in the league who'll do that, but in order to set up this next pitch, and if I was a guess hitter, I'd say slider away right here, that backdoor slider that's been such a good pitch for him. Actually came with another fastball that time, but hey, if you're going to commit to throw that fastball inside, make sure you get it in there. You don't want to hit the batter, certainly, but if you try to guide it in there, that's when bad things happen. The ball tails out over the plate or cuts further inside, and you end up getting a negative result. Commit to the pitch.
Another 1-2. Got in on him again.
Saw Lou looking for somebody down there in that third base dugout. I would imagine if he has to go back out to the mound, take Ted Lilly out of this game, there'll be some kind of a double switch here.
Lou looks like he's in mid-season form, and we are in mid-season, so that's appropriate. The next 1-2. Well, he keeps going in. 2-2.
Well, this is definitely the pitch of action right here. You want to make something happen on this 2-2 pitch. Make a good enough pitch that Matsui either puts it in play or you get him out. Don't want to go to a full count with the bases loaded.
Second, and they get the out. Blum forced at second base. Probably it for Lilly. We'll see a pinch hitter to start the 8th. It's now a 1-1 tie.
I'm Jeff Lopez, and I'm at the Anheuser-Busch Fort Collins Brewery. And as you can see, we're one of the largest recyclers of aluminum cans. Over 27 billion cans a year. That's 25% more than we produce, which means that for every 4 cans we produce, 5 are recycled. And those recycled cans can come back pretty much as anything. But the lucky ones get to relive the dream. Oh, gee, that's fun. Yeah, let me start over.
Sarah for sending money from afar.
Send money within the U.S. with Western Union next day service for as low as $9.99.
Thanks for the birthday money, Aunt Sarah. I love it.
Me too.
Western Union. You're never far apart.
Your Gotham City pizza. And could you tell the Joker he owes me a car?
Introducing the Gotham City Pizza with 50% more pepperoni for $9.99. Domino's, you got 30 minutes.
We really balance each other well.
The balance is ridiculous.
Yeah, because like he motivates me to get going, do things. When he, starts to get a little type A, I'll bring him down a little bit. Lee has a powerful drive within him.
I'm an intense guy. I always have a full plate. She'll tell me, Lee, relax, you can't control this.
I think that difference between us is what makes us so great together.
See how it feels to be matched based on compatibility. Log on and review your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
WGN America. TV you can't ignore.
Hey, Parrot Heads. Jimmy Buffett will be back in the Chicago area next Thursday night, headlining in Bridgeview, Illinois, along with the Coral Reefer Band, presented by Land Shark Lager. Tickets available now at livenation.com. Jimmy Buffett, presented by Land Shark Lager. Let the fin begin.
It took her 3 days on the train, looking for some peace and quiet. Hope to see the sun.
Carlos Lee with a leadoff game-tying home run in the bottom of the 7th. But then Ted Lilly got out of a major jam. Keep it tied. New battery for the Astros. Jeff Geary pitching to Brad Ausmus, and former Astro Darrell Ward fouls away as he bats for Lilly. Now, it's not old school because he has the hockey-style mask, but it is old school in that there's nothing on it. No logos, other sorts of artwork.
Very generic.
If you'd like to purchase advertising on Brad Osman's Hockey Mask, you can call 1-800. Fly ball hit well. Erstad, however, got a really nice jump and makes the catch on the warning track. Well, the Cubs have hit some balls really well the last several innings, but they've made outs because Moeller and now Geary have pitched up the middle of the diamond.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier in the ball game. Room for a pitcher to bail out if you can get hitters to hit it from left center field around to right field. And Darren Erstad got a great jump on that ball. Plenty of room to roam and able to run it down.
Terrio with a double and a walk. He's officially 1 out of 2. Look at that on-base percentage. Just a few notches below 400. Bob talked about how many times Terrio's been on base this year.
Starting pitching by both starting pitchers in the ball game tonight. Moeller and Lilly both going 7 strong innings, each giving up 1 home run, coming on solo homers.
Opposition hitting just 133 against Geary here in July. Hasn't given up a run this month. 3-1. Ontario with Kosuke next. The pitch fouled back, and it's full 3-2. Things we should mention about the All-Star game in New York. 49 Hall of Famers were there, including Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, Rhino was on hand, Bruce Sutter. And Ernie gave the pregame pep talk to the National League. I think it was George Brett for the American League. The boss, George Steinbrenner, was on hand as well. The Yankee legends are out there throwing the ceremonial first pitches. Reggie Jackson, Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford and company. Up the middle, backhanded neatly by Matsui. What a play.
A good range and the ability to throw off balance for Kaz Matsui. Looked like it was headed through into center field. The nice backhanded play. All his momentum is carrying him out toward left center field. He throws back across his body. Right on the money.
2 outs, nobody on base. Kaz Matsui attended the same high school as Kosuke in Osaka, Japan. PL High School. It kind of buried. I mean, it was written about. But with everything else going on in New York, I thought one of the most interesting things to come out of the All-Star Gala was that Bud Selig, the commissioner, said that, like we've read, instant replay still could happen in 2008. I think baseball would like to have it ready, at least for controversial home runs for the playoffs. One and 2. I think we're both on board with that concept, correct?
Sure. No argument here. I tell you, especially a playoff game. I mean, you don't want to see any game affected by an incorrect call, fan interference, or a fair foul call on a home run that could either win or lose a ball game, especially in the postseason.
They set now the 1-2. 2-2. He was born in Buffalo, but he went to high school in California. El Cajon went to Grossmont High. Bob Howery, along with Neil Kotz.
Well, I would assume Neil Kotz will get the first two hitters in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Darren Erstad, a left-handed hitter, and Lance Berkman, a switch hitter that you would much prefer to be up there right-handed. Bob Howery probably getting ready for Carlos Lee, Miguel Tejada, Hunter Pence, Ty Wigginton, all the righties in the middle of that lineup.
To Kosuke. Another ball in the air. Not a great sign for Kosuke, who's not a home run hitter. He's now 9 for his last 58. Bottom 8 in a 1-1 tie from Houston.
On the next Chappelle Show.
Dave Chappelle, come on down.
It's the one and only Prince.
Is anyone up for a game of basketball?
Next Chappelle Show. Tonight at midnight East, 9 West on WGN America.
WGN America. TV you can't ignore.
Hey, everyone. Hey, I'm here to talk to you about 2 ways to save money. 1, by driving fuel-efficient cars, and 2, to let you know the 2008 Honda clearance is going on right now. Honda prides itself on building fuel-efficient cars and was named America's greenest automaker. So get out there and spread the word. The 2008 Honda clearance. And for some deals that can save you some green, go to shophonda.com. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I approve this message.
It basically took me the whole summer. And I don't know how many times I needed to go to AutoZone, but at least now when I go, it's not on my bike.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Dad.
Nice fort.
It's not a fort. It's a Dairy Queen.
Ooh, then can I get a Blizzard?
Here you go.
And a hot dog?
Sure.
How did you... Oh.
Thank you.
Honey, you're not going to believe...
Good, you got him. We stopped at DQ and picked up your favorites. Well, then next week I
Nice try. Morgan?
Believe it. The Girl Scout Cookie Blizzard. New at DQ with real pieces of Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies.
WGN America, your home for summertime baseball. Keep your eyes here.
Oh, yeah. A little ballpark health food. That's cheese with a Z.
Just a little more. There you go. Looks good. 1-1. Neil Kotz working against Darren Erstad in the home half of the 8th. 24th appearance for Neil Kotz. Fellow left-hander Scott Air with the club, but still on the disabled list. Sounds like he still may have a couple more minor league rehab appearances before he's ready to come back to the active roster. He's on the DL with left groin strain. So the second left-hander in the pen is Sean Marshall. 2-1 the count. Berkman on deck. He is 0 for 3. All from the right side.
I mentioned he'd rather have Lance Berkman at the plate. As a right-handed hitter, his average is very close. He came into play tonight hitting .344 as a righty, .349 as a lefty. But a much better eye as a left-handed hitter. Has drawn 47 walks as a lefty, only 9 walks as a right-handed hitter.
slicing fly, and it will be caught by DeRosa. Well, it's tough to bloop a hit to left in this ballpark. While you'll get some home runs you might not normally get, you're not going to get a lot of cheap singles out to left.
And as we saw earlier in the ball game, you better hustle to get a double on a hard hit ball to left field as well. And Carlos Lee made that nice play on Mike Fontenot earlier in the ball game and nearly threw him out at second base.
In that home run derby, in which Berkman did hit left-handed, he got past the first round, but then was knocked out in round 2. Justin Morneau of the Twins won the Derby, even though Josh Hamilton was the sentimental winner. Ground ball to Ramirez. Easy play. 2 outs. And that's it for Kotz with you-know-who coming up, Carlos Lee. And it'll be Bob Howery to face him. Every pitch is big now. Late innings, a 1-1 tie. And we'll be back.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Dad.
Nice fort.
It's not a fort. It's a Dairy Queen.
Ooh, then can I get a Blizzard?
Here you go.
And a hot dog?
Sure.
How did you... Oh.
Thank you.
Honey, you're not going to believe...
Good, you got him. We stopped at DQ and picked up your favorites. Well, then next week I...
Nice trot. Morgan?
Believe it. The Girl Scout Cookie Blizzard. New at DQ with real pieces of Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies.
The men of TV are de-evolving from man of the house.
I am the king in my castle.
To man of the couch.
Haven't I heard of you?
You're not a cop, are you?
Just when you think it can't get any worse, these guys show up.
I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl. That's my other brother Daryl.
Watch the men of classic TV go from sophisticated to sauced. Put your mind on rewind with Out of Sight Retro Night on WGN America. Keep your eyes here.
Neil Kotz did his job. He got Erstad and Berkman, and now it's Bob Howery against Carlos Lee. I have a pretty good idea Bob's going to try to pound the outside corner against El Caballo.
I think that'd be a wise way to go about it. At least if he's going to hurt you, make him hurt you to the opposite field. We see what happens in this ballpark when you challenge inside. Bob Howery against El Caballo in their respective careers. 2 for 9. 4 strikeouts in those 9 at-bats.
Quickly, a few finals in the National League before we resume. We mentioned the Reds over the Mets 5-2. The Phillies dumped Florida 4-2, so the Phillies have a 1-game edge over the Mets. They acquired right-hander Joe Blanton from the Oakland A's. The Phillies did yesterday. Atlanta beat the Nationals 7-6. And the Padres leading at St. Louis 7-6 in the bottom of the 6th. Milwaukee just underway, batting in the first. No score at San Francisco. Low and outside on a slider from Howery, 1-0. Arizona leading 4-3 over the Dodgers in the first inning. It's a battle for first place. The Diamondbacks a game up in the West over LA. And the Rockies 3, the Pirates 1 in the 5th in Denver. This one tied it in the 7th.
You can see from Giovanni Soto's reaction, there was no doubt where that ball was headed. That's one of those ones as a catcher. You want to throw your glove up there and get called for catcher's interference. You'll give him 1 base, but you don't want to give him 4. You could only think that quickly. Hanging fastball, belt high on the inside part of the plate. Pretty good chance it's going to get whacked, so stick your glove up there, take a catcher's interference, and send him on down to first.
Are you implying that you did that?
No, like I said, you have to think quickly, and that wasn't my forte.
Broken left hand, home run. Fontenot will spin and throw to Derek Lee, who will lead off the top of the 9th. Lee, Ramirez, and Soto coming up in a 1-1 tie.
You can spike one. You can ride one. You can catch one. But it's still not summer until you open one. Introducing Bud Light Lime. It's the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. It's in the lime. Bud Light Lime.
What the?
You guys okay?
We're trapped, and there's 7 of us. There's no way we'll fit in there.
There's room for 8.
Oh, forget it. We have too many beverages.
There's like 12 cup holders in here.
But what about this bison? That thing got my blood a-boiling.
That's probably just the seat warmer.
Seating for 8. Ride Ready. The new Pilot, only from Honda.
Back pain? You don't have to just rely on pain relievers. Now you can take 2 of these. Dr. Scholl's Back Pain Relief Orthotics with Shock Guard. They're clinically proven and absorb jarring shock with every step you take. For back or knee pain, take Dr. Scholl's.
You're so funny.
I love our family tradition.
What's that?
Where we pass our plates to the right.
When did that become a family tradition?
When you ordered that.
Try new grilled garlic shrimp with a roasted garlic glaze or new grilled balsamic glazed chicken. 2 new dishes at Olive Garden.
Dangle makes finding the sheriff's murderer priority number 1.
I'll put a tail on that woman.
Like a bunny or a cat.
Reno 911.
Tonight at 1 East, 10 West. Break time's over. Carlos Quentin and the White Sox are back to work against KC. Saturday night at 7 Eastern on WGN America.
Cubs don't have a hit since Mike Fontenot's double way back in the 5th inning. As Jeff Geary props a strike on Derek Lee. Only 4 hits in all. One being a leadoff homer by Edmonds in the 5th. Derek missed it 0-2. Ten straight Cubs have been sent back to the dugout empty-handed. But you have Lee, Ramirez, and Soto here in the 9th. Make it Ramirez and Soto after Garrett struck out. The producer of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports is Pete Toma. Skip Ellison is our director, our associate producer, Mark Brady. The executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. Thanks as well to our stage manager in the booth, Lisa Jones. Our studio coordinator back at WGN, Christina Ballas. And our entire Houston-based production crew, helping you bring you Cubs Astros tonight. Tight ball game throughout, 1-1 in the 9th. Kick and the 1-1. Bounce to Tejada, who backed up a step and a half and usually gets a Ramos. Lee and Ramirez, a combined 0 for 8. You include Kosuke, 0 for 12.
And Giovanni Soto will take his at bat with 2 outs here in the inning. Actually, Gio has swung the bat just about as well as anybody in the Cubs lineup tonight. The clean single up the middle of the field almost took Brian Moeller's head off back in the 2nd inning, and then a deep fly ball to the hill in straightaway center in the 6th.
Hit hard, knocked down by Wigginton. He'll pick it up, and he gets it. Another hard hit ball by Gio. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Tejada, Pence, and Wigginton against Howry.
On the next Chappelle Show.
James Chappelle, come on down.
It's the one and only Prince.
Is anyone up for a game of basketball?
Next Chappelle Show. Tonight at midnight East, 9 West on WGN America.
WGN America. TV you can't ignore.
Every sip gets you closer to Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. HD TVs, millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Get Pepsi Stuff points on specially marked Pepsi or Diet Pepsi 24-ounce 6-packs for a free Amazon MP3 music download.
What my life is like in managing my diabetes is very complicated because you're twisting and turning a lot as to what should I do first. I need to talk to this client, but I'm feeling a little dizzy. I think I better check my blood sugar. So it's that kind of back and forth that feels like a tornado sometimes.
Get a free Breeze 2 meter from Bayer today. Call 1-800-582-3131 or visit breezemeter.com.
I fell in love with the 10-test disc. The Breeze 2 is the best. It helps me with everything else in the day to just fall in line.
The Breeze 2 meter from Bayer comes with a unique, easy-to-use disc, so you only load strips every 10 tests, and you never have to code your meter to make testing simple.
I'm at one with my meter, and I have it with me all the time. I'm Suzanne Lipinski, and finding balance is my simple win.
Get your free Breeze 2 meter today. Call 1-800-582-3131 or visit breezemeter.com.
Time to check out tonight's Nissan drive of the game. Jim Edmonds with an opposite field home run into the Crawford boxes and provided the Cubs with the only offense they've had tonight. Carlos Lee matched that with a solo homer of his own in the 7th. That's tonight's Nissan drive of the game.
Well, it'll be a last at bat win for somebody. Bottom 9 in a 1-1 tie. Howry versus Tejada. Miguel is 2 for 3. Both hits have been singles. Tried to end it with that swing. Came up empty. Rich Harden, and we had some emails, people wanting to know when his second Cubs start will be. It'll be Monday at Arizona. Jason Marquis will pitch Tuesday. And again, the Cubs will avoid Dan Herron and Brandon Webb in that series. No Roy Oswalt this weekend here in Houston. If Oswalt were healthy, he would have started tonight. But as you said, still have to go out and get it done. And Cubs only scored 1 run versus Brian Moeller. Rich Harden was nasty in his Cubs debut. Got a no decision. But had excellent stuff. Howry's 0-2 pitch. It was up and it was hit foul. Some American League scores. Baltimore over Detroit 7-4 the final. The Yankees crushed Oakland 7-1. A-Rod with his 20th. Robinson Cano with his 7th. Mentioned Tampa Bay ended that 7-game skid with a 2-1 win over the Blue Jays. Minnesota shutting out Texas in the Dome 6-0 in the 8th. White Sox leading at home over Kansas City 9-5 in the 7th. The Angels with 2 in the 1st against the Red Sox. It's 2-0 there. And 2 of the most disappointing teams in all of baseball matching up in Seattle this weekend. Indians and the Mariners, no score in the 1st. Let's see if Richie Sexson was in the lineup for the Yankees tonight. Fly to deep right. Kosuke going after it. He's not going to get there, and it bounces over the fence. That's a leadoff double. The winning run is at second base. Tejada was down in the count and picks up a big extra base hit.
They saw him chase a high fastball earlier in the sequence. The Cubs go back to it again, and this time Tejada gets on top and tomahawks that ball into straightaway right field over the head of Kosuke Fukudome. And we'll see how Cecil Cooper plays it this time here in the bottom of the ninth. Tejada representing the winning run in the ball game. He elected not to sacrifice bunt earlier in the game with Hunter Pence.
Tejada pretty excited. Pence swinging away. Whipped out in the left center. Tejada's going to be set. They're going to try to score him. Here's a throw by Edmonds. Astros win. Ed Romero set Tejada. It was the right move. And the Astros walk off with a win. Leadoff double, and then the single scored Tejada. And the final tonight, the Astros 2 and the Cubs 1. Well, he said every pitch counts late. And Howard gave up the double on the 1-2 pitch, and then Hunter Pence placed it perfectly.
Jim Edmonds tried to freeze the runner at second base, making him think he was going to make a play on that ball, but Tejada didn't buy it. Circles around third base, an aggressive send by Ed Romero with nobody out in the inning, but it pays off for the Astros as Tejada gets in underneath the tag.
So the Cubs trail these season series 4-3. Just couldn't get a lot going offensively tonight. Only run they got was on the Edmonds home run back in the 5th inning. Final score tonight, the Astros 2, the Cubs 1. We'll have more from Houston in a moment.
Next on WGN, in custody, who police are questioning about the death of a 9-year-old girl. It's the end of the first inning for Wrigley bidders. Either you're in or you're out. And a Batman bummer. Fans wait with hard-to-get movie tickets, but an Evanston theater can't show the film.
Introducing Bud Light Lime. The superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor.
City Pizza. And could you tell the Joker he owes me a car?
Introducing the Gotham City Pizza with 50% more pepperoni for $9.99. Domino's, you got 30 minutes.
I love to ride the open road, but diabetes complicates my life. The most difficult part of riding with the diabetes is trying to find food on the road. It's like having an anchor permanently tied to your leg. When I pack for my motorcycle trips, I always carry my meter. It's the size of a small cell phone, fits in a little bag, and it's real easy to carry and don't have to worry about it.
Get a free Breeze 2 meter from Bayer today. Call 1-800-480-7500 or visit breezemeter.com.
My cousin and I were planning a trip to Alaska. It was about a 10,000-mile trip, so, the less stuff you can carry, the better.
The Breeze 2 meter from Bayer comes with a unique, easy-to-use disc, so you only load strips every 10 tests, and you never have to code your meter to make testing simple.
I'm not going to let diabetes beat me down to where I have to stay in one place. I just kind of go where I want to go. I'm Brad Nance, and 10,000 miles is my simple win.
Get your free Breeze 2 meter today. Call 1-800-480-7500 or visit breezemeter.com.
Introducing Bud Light Lime. The superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Bud Light Lime, the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime. AM/PM, AM/PM, too much good stuff. The Illinois Lottery, play the Illinois Lottery, have a ball. By Comcast, proven advanced technology, call 1-888-4BEST-TV. By Pepsi, every sip gets you closer. And by Southwest Airlines, you're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
Now the totals for the Astros: 2 runs on 8 hits, no errors, 7 stranded for the Cubs. A run on 4 hits, no errors, 4 left. The winner, Jeff Geary, he's 2-1. Bob Hauer, he takes the loss. He's 3-3. 2 hours, 27 minutes in front of 42,368. Tonight's Budweiser play of the game, the final pitch of the night.
Once again, Cecil Cooper does not elect to sacrifice bunt, and for the second time in the ball game, Hunter Pence pays it off with a base hit. This time the game winner, scoring Miguel Tejada.
The perfect balance of taste and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Our next broadcast of Cubs baseball on WGN Sports will be Sunday afternoon. Series finale against the Astros will hit the air at 1 o'clock Central Time. All-star Ryan Dempster versus right-hander Brandon Backey. Celebrating 60 years of Cubs broadcasts on WGN. Baseball like it ought to be. Last 3 games the Cubs have played here in Houston, they have scored in 1 inning in each of those games. Haven't been able to add on to their leads. Didn't do it again tonight. They led 1-0. Astros tied it the 7th and won it in the 9th. Again, the final score, the Astros 2 and the Cubs 1. So now for Bob Brenly and our entire WGN Sports crew, this is Len Casper. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you again Sunday here from Houston. And now stay tuned. The WGN News is next.
To see Emmett Smith. Emmett, your great facial hair has put you in a rocking chair. Your beard is weird. Your stash is trash. Oh, it's bad.
Just for Men Gel penetrates tough gray and puts it away in 5 easy minutes. His edge is back.
He's right on track.
Backfield in motion.
He moves and grooves. He scores. Just for Men Gel.
Keep your edge.
You okay, kid?
My foot, it's killing me.
Oh, athlete's foot. Hit that with Tough Actin Tinactin. It's more than a cure. It's so tough it can keep you from getting athlete's foot. Get boom, Tough Actin Tinactin.
Alex Klein is a real Geico customer, not a paid celebrity. So to help tell his story, we hired that guy who does those funny sound effects.
My car was totaled over 1,000 miles from home. So I called Geico. And in less than 10 business hours, I got a check for a new car.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
Break time's over. Carlos Quentin and the White Sox are back to work against KC. Saturday night at 7 Eastern on WGN America.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
On a night when family and friends bid a tearful goodbye, progress in the murder investigation of 9-year-old Maya Lyons. Tonight, the Chicago Tribune is reporting that police have someone in custody. Good evening, everyone. I'm Antoine Lewis.
And I'm Allison Payne. WGN's Julie Unruh is live at Area 2 Police Headquarters with our top story tonight. Julie.
Good evening to you, Allison. The paper is reporting tonight that that person in custody is now considered a person of interest. It is not, however, a relative of Maya Lyons. We want to mention no charges have been filed at this hour, and very few details have been revealed at this time. All of this information is being released, however, at the same time that family and friends are paying their respects.
Another terrible event to have to come and view.
the last time ever, your child.
It's a day no parent should have to face. Richard Lyons is saying his final goodbye to 9-year-old daughter Maya after she was brutally stabbed and discovered in the Auburn-Gresham neighborhood Monday, just feet from her father's home.
And this is something that no one should ever have to do to their own child.
Today, loved ones filed in and out of the Southside Funeral Home as detectives question, quote, a person of interest in connection to her death. A somber day as new developments take shape in the case.
I'm hopeful because of the way that the investigation has been going. As far as I know, that they have a very good suspect, if not the actual person.
For days, police have been trying to determine why the young girl was outside her father's home late Sunday or early Monday morning, and how it is that she ended up dead in a nearby alley, stab wounds to her neck and body. An autopsy shows she had multiple injuries, but medical examiners do not believe the girl was sexually assaulted. Today, there is no turning back for the Lyons family. Tomorrow, they will bury the child as they pray for her killer to be caught.
It's an ongoing investigation. Several leads are being followed up. A lot of evidence is being worked up. Many people are being interviewed at this point in time.
Now, until a suspect has been charged, authorities are not slowing down their search for the girl's killer. Tomorrow, aldermen, representatives from CAPS, and Crime Stoppers plan to blanket the neighborhood where the girl's body was found. They'll be blanketing it with flyers asking for your help. Also tomorrow, Maya Lyons' funeral. We're live at Area 2 Police Headquarters. Julie Unruh, WGN News.
All right, Julie, let's catch the person who did this. At O'Hare tonight, 142 passengers were evacuated from their plane after it overshot the runway. The Department of Aviation says it was Mexicana Airlines Flight 802 arriving from Mexico just after 7 this evening. One person was hospitalized for bumps and bruises. Runway 22L was closed. National Transportation Safety Board investigators are trying to determine why it happened. The runway is expected to reopen tonight.
A huge traffic tie-up on the Eisenhower Expressway this afternoon, which started when a suspect struck a police car, and a police officer rather, near Laverne and Polk Street on the west side with his car. Now, the offender then took off entering the I, but going eastbound in the westbound lanes of traffic. As responding officers walked up to the then stopped vehicle on the expressway, he again tried to strike police with his vehicle.
The offending vehicle again began to move in the direction of the officer on the expressway, at which point the partner, in an effort to prevent the further injury to the officer, his partner fired rounds at the offending vehicle.
A passenger in the suspect's car was hit by police gunfire but not seriously injured, with both men being apprehended. The officer who was injured from the outset is in good condition.
Chicago police are looking for 2 men who shot and wounded a woman in the West Loop Restaurant Row early this morning during a robbery. The suspects approached the woman on the street and demanded her valuables. She refused. A brief struggle broke out, and the men grabbed some of her valuables. When they ran from the scene, one of them opened fire, striking the woman in the leg. She's hospitalized in stable condition at Northwestern Memorial Hospital.
Nearly 50 illegal immigrants with suspected gang ties were arrested this week in the north and northwest suburbs. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents teamed up with sheriff's officers and suburban police to make the arrests in an ongoing operation targeting foreign-born suspected gang members and associates. A total of 49 people were taken into custody, most of them Mexican nationals. 9 of those arrested had been previously deported. Today, a roofing crew spilled gasoline and touched off a fire at Briar Glen Elementary School in Wheaton. No staff or students were in the building when the fire broke out. Fire officials say the roofers accidentally spilled the gasoline on a hot power tool while refueling it. The fire burned about 1/3 of the roof and caused smoke and water damage to much of the building's interior. Officials don't know yet if the school will be ready for classes when they resume on August 27th.
The Dark Knight had a fantastic evening. The new Batman movie broke the record on its first night at the box office, bringing in $18.5 million. But not everyone who had a ticket got to see it. WGN's Judy Garcia is live in Evanston with the Batman bummer. Judy.
Hi, Allison. We're here in Evanston. We're at the Century Theater. Power went out just about 6 o'clock tonight and stayed out till almost 9 o'clock. Take a look. People are still outside the theater waiting to get in. An announcement a short time ago told people that their showings would not begin until after about 10:30 tonight. There are hundreds of people still waiting outside, although some of them are already repeat viewers.
We had a 9:30 show. 9:30? But I seen it last night, so I'm not really that mad about it. They haven't seen it. I saw the midnight premiere last night, so I seen it already. So
And you were planning to see it again?
Yeah, I plan on seeing it 2-3 more times.
Moviegoers hoping to see the latest Batman movie at Evanston Century 12 theaters are out in the dark following a power outage. ComEd says some 800 customers are affected, among them this theater.
We're holding out for some hope. The best you can, yeah.
We hope maybe tonight.
Yeah, hopefully.
Across the Chicagoland area, fans are waiting in long lines and going online to get the hottest ticket in town.
I really like Batman, and, you know, I knew that I wanted to see this movie because I was actually up last night watching Batman Begins. So I'm a really big fan.
Some are long-time fans. Others saw good reviews that piqued their interest.
I saw the other ones, and, well, the write-ups seem to be to my taste. So I think that this one here seems like it's going to live up to what's all been written about.
And some are curious about Chicago's role in the film.
Our city, and see how the technique, sceneries and put together.
Here at the Century tonight, they are issuing rain checks for anyone who bought their tickets. They're also saying you can approach Fandango. If you bought your ticket online through Fandango, you can ask Fandango for a refund, or you can get a rain check to see the movie at another time. They are showing it on 4 screens, each theater seating 500 to 600 people, so a lot of people affected here in Evanston tonight. Many of the hopeful remain in line, hoping the theater will reopen sometime tonight. They're saying the earliest, though, would be at least 10:30. Reporting live in Evanston, Judy Garcia, WGN News.
All right, Judy, thank you. So tell us, are you going to see the new Batman movie this weekend? Yes, it is opening this weekend, but this movie is supposed to be the one to see this summer. Dean Richards just says it is fabulous. Text yes or no to 97999 or go to WGNTV.com. We'll have the results after the weather forecast.
A busy stretch of road near Midway Airport is getting a much-needed upgrade. Coming up, what you need to know about the project before your next trip to the Southwest side.
Round 1 of bidding for the Cubs and Wrigley Field is over, but is the team any closer to being sold?
And later, Jim Ramsey is tracking a series of weekend storms that could put a damper on any outdoor plans.
You're watching WGN News at 9 with Steve Sanders, Allison Payne, Tom Skilling, and Rich King. This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Notice how digital's made pretty much everything better, especially television. Digital TV's got better picture, better sound, more channels. In fact, digital's so much better that by law, all broadcast TV has to be digital by 2009. But there's a catch. Some TVs need an upgrade to get digital. You could even lose your signal. Get the facts. Visit dtvanswers.com to learn about television switch to digital. Or call this number to see how you can stay connected.
An urgent message from the Balkan and Icebrook Digitech hotline.
The FDA has recalled Digitech, also known as digoxin. A manufacturing error allowed ultra-high dose tablets packaged with normal doses to be released, causing renal failure, worsening heart problems, heart attack, stroke, and potentially death. Suffered injury due to an abnormally high dosage of Digitech? You may be entitled to a large cash award.
If you've been injured by this drug, call 1-800-RESULTS. You don't have to suffer. You just have to call 1-800-RESULTS.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything in life came with a worry-free guarantee? Well, at Rent-A-Center, everything does. With our worry-free guarantee, we'll match any competitor's price on brand new, brand-name merchandise. No credit hassles, delivery, setup, and service included. And you gotta love it or your money back. Rent-A-Center. We make it easy to make it your own. It's the worry-free summer cruising sweepstakes at Rent-A-Center. $1 million in cash, cars, and prizes. Winners every day. Hurry into Rent-A-Center or visit worryfreesummer.com to enter.
Hey, Skip, need you in the wheelhouse.
Tenacious grip, no matter the conditions. Firehawk tires with Unity technology, only from Firestone.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
There is more construction on the state's roadways to tell you about or warn you about. The next resurfacing project is slated for Cicero Avenue at the Stevenson Expressway. The work begins on Monday if the weather permits. All of the resurfacing will be done during the overnight hours to cut down on the impact to commuters and to Midway Airport travelers. Some of the I-55 exit ramps will be closed. IDOT says to also expect lane closures in both directions. IDOT also says the project covers 600 feet north and south of I-55. The work is expected to take about 10 nights to complete.
The first round of bidding for the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field is complete. The Tribune Company is selling the team, the ballpark, and the Cubs' 25% stake in Comcast Sportsnet to pay down debt. Major League Baseball sent out financial books to 9 pre-approved bidders in June, and the Tribune closed the preliminary round of bidding today. There's no timetable for the sale. Sports economists have said the baseball properties could sell for as much as $1 billion.
Our former colleague Randy Salerno was remembered today at the 2008 signature event of the Randy Salerno Foundation. The day started with a celebrity golf outing at the Boone Creek Golf Club and ended with an evening celebration at a park in Randy's hometown of Crystal Lake. Proceeds from the fundraiser will help provide scholarships to students at Crystal Lake High School and Illinois State University.
It's a little overwhelming. It really is. But it's just still so uplifting at the same time to see all these people that have come out to remember Randy and to, ensure that good things continue to happen in his name.
Randy Salerno was killed last winter in a snowmobile accident in Wisconsin.
Our stretch of sunshine and soaring temperatures is over officially. Up next, Jim Ramsey joins us to talk about some weekend storms, though.
Also, purpose over pain, how several families are healing and helping at the same time.
I learned a lot when I found out I had high cholesterol, but I didn't know that it may have led to my erectile dysfunction. That's why my doctor told me about Levitra.
Certain medical conditions, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, can decrease blood flow, which may lead to ED.
That was news to me. My doctor told me Levitra could help.
Levitra works by increasing blood flow to help treat ED.
Levitra works for me. Maybe it can work for you.
Ask your doctor if you are healthy enough for sexual activity. If you have heart problems, are on alpha blocker therapy, or have uncontrolled high blood pressure, talk to your doctor before taking Levitra. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss of vision or hearing, stop taking Levitra and call your doctor right away. Ask your doctor if Levitra is right for you.
My doctor wanted me to get one of those emergency pendants. The ones that let you call for help? And I said, that's not for me. That's for some old person.
But we finally talked my mom into calling ADT.
Then one day I slipped and broke my hip. The pain was terrible, and I couldn't get to the phone. I needed an ambulance, so I pushed the button.
It's okay, Mrs. Anderson. The paramedics are on their way.
It was so good to hear ADT at the other end.
Introducing ADT Companion Services. With one touch of a button, you can summon help from anywhere in your home and talk with ADT's trained professionals who can call an ambulance and help with any medical emergency. 1 out of every 3 people over 65 will fall this year. ADT helps you maintain your independence for about $1 a day. Call now for your free guide to living alone, plus information about ADT Companion Services.
I'm glad ADT could call for help.
So am I.
Protect your independence. Call today for more information and ask about special discounts for AARP members. ADT, always there.
WGN America, TV you can't ignore.
Want to know the best way to get your stains out in the wash? Well, America's leading washer brands, Maytag and Whirlpool, recommend OxyClean, and now have a dispenser for OxyClean, because they know it's better at getting out the spills, the spots, and the splatters. Whether they're ground in, smeared on, or dried up, it doesn't matter. OxyClean lifts away stains detergents can leave behind. Cleaner, brighter, and whiter. That's the power of OxyClean.
Now unleash 2 cleaning powers in 1 detergent. Try new Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean.
Okay, so Warm weather's gone, and we saw you put the paper over your head, which was very cute, by the way.
That's not going to do, though, as an umbrella.
Well, we've actually got a frontal boundary that's sitting just to the northwest of us, and storms have been breaking out in front of it. In fact, it rained so much in northern Cook County that they're under a flash flood warning until 11:30 tonight. As much as 3 inches of rain came down in a 1-hour period. We understand there have been some substantial rises on Salt Creek, and the suburbs affected include Palatine, Inverness, and Rolling Meadows. Time-lapse pictures show a lot of dark gray clouds that drifted over the city of Chicago today. We did, in fact, see a little rain around the Chicago area. But as you can see, just to the north of the city descriptor in this radar loop, you can notice a thunderstorm pop up, a very slow mover that was responsible for all that heavy rain. But look at what's waiting in the wings. So it looks like it's going to be a stormy night across Chicago. 76, our present temperature at O'Hare. In fact, across the suburbs, temperatures generally in the upper 70s at most locations, a little bit warmer as you track to the south. High temperature at O'Hare up to 86 today, but Midway Airport cracked 90 degrees with a 91-degree high. Notice still a lot of hot air down to the south. That cold front approaching from the northwest will usher in slightly cooler temperatures, but it's the tension between that warm air and cold air that's expected to bring us some rather bumpy weather all weekend. High dew points, plenty of atmospheric moisture on which to fuel thunderstorms. Now, this is what we're watching beneath these clouds. Storms developing not only in Illinois, but as you saw a bit earlier, back into parts of Iowa. Take a look at these cells, rather large thunderstorm cells that stay just below severe levels, but nonetheless, we're slow trackers, and where storms occur over the weekend, some heavy rain may be a consequence. And while we are expecting anywhere from, say, 1.5 inches to 2 inches in some spots, if you find yourself under some of these slow-moving thunderstorms, the rain can add up very, very quickly. This, by the way, is a computer depiction of the forecast, how much rain we're expecting, and this, in fact, tends to show anywhere between 1.5 inches and 2 inches of rain coming in over the weekend, so it looks pretty sloppy. Presently, our winds coming out of the southwest, fairly gentle at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our forecast now. First of all, for tonight across the area, mostly cloudy, stormy at times. Low temperature 72 to 76 degrees. We'll have a southwesterly breeze continuing at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tomorrow, Saturday, chance of storms, and again, some may be rather wet, with high temperature a little cooler, we're thinking. But then by tomorrow evening, not much relief, with more showers and thunderstorms possible. Low temperature should be mostly in the upper 60s to low 70s. We'll finish out the weekend with another chance of storms on Sunday. This is going to be a lingering weather system with a lot of rain potential here. 7-day forecast, we should dry out by the time we pass through the weekend, get into Monday, but there is a chance of storms then also. More good weather expected for the middle part of the week, but going into next Friday, storms again possible. So keep an umbrella handy. There will be some dry hours, but looks like plenty of wet ones.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Okay.
Well, with the rain expected this weekend, a movie may be just the thing, and there's only one movie everybody's talking about, The Dark Knight. A whopping 75% of you tell us that you're going to see the new Batman movie this weekend. That's why you can't get a ticket, Antoine. And 25% of you aren't, but that doesn't mean you won't catch it in the next week or two. We thank you for voting. If anybody's got an extra ticket, please call WGN and give it to Antoine.
Some teenage boys on the south side are shooting hoops tonight as part of a project to keep them away from gangs. The group Purpose Over Pain was created by several Chicago parents who have experienced the pain of losing a child to gun violence. Tonight was the first in a series of what they're calling Safe Fridays, a 4-hour event that keeps children off the streets. I was very grateful to be part of their inauguration this evening.
Wonderful.
Now the Blackhawks, let's take on the Blackhawks, that dropped the puck on their inaugural fan convention and saved more than one surprise for those dedicated ones.
And the White Sox begin their second half with a bang against the Royals. WGN Radio's Dave Ennett has highlights in sports.
Right in the hole, Herman, an infielder with a nice throw just off the mark.
WGN America, TV you can't ignore.
Why should a kid who bedwets feel any different than a kid who doesn't?
Hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I am.
Now there's
Underjams, absorbent nightwear that helps give kids the nighttime protection they need with the privacy they want. Because Underjams fit more like underwear than the other leading disposable underpant. New Underjams by Pampers. Protection made private.
Live from WGN TV Chicago, the official drawing of the Illinois Lottery.
Good evening. I'm Magdalena Martinez with your winning lottery numbers for Friday, July 18th, 2008. Let's start our Pick 3 game. Good luck. First number, 9. Second number, 5. And the third and final number, 5. So the winning Pick 3 numbers for tonight are 9, 5, 5. I'm so excited. Tonight's Friday night, and that means you get to win the Mega Million jackpot, $105 million. So you better get that ticket fast. Jackpot is soon. Tomorrow night's Lotto game is 4.75. First number, Pick 4, is 0. Second number, 4. Third number, 0. And your fourth winning number, 3. So the winning Pick 4 numbers for tonight are 0, 4, 0, 3. Now it's time for Little Lotto, the game you can play 7 nights a week. Tonight's jackpot is $175,000. First winning number, 30. Second number, 33. Third number, 4. Fourth number, 20. And your fifth and final number, 24. So Little Lotto numbers are 30, 33, 4, 20, and 24. I'm Magdalena Martinez. Good night and good luck.
Tonight's lottery drawing was brought to you by WGN TV and supervised by the accounting firm of Clifton Gunderson.
Changed over the years, but you two do have a groovy thing going on. Don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. America's most prescribed ED treatment is marking its 10th anniversary. Want to learn more? The facts are there to greet you at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Tired of your old birth control routine? To break free from the pack with NuvaRing. NuvaRing is not a daily pill. It's a small, comfortable, once-monthly vaginal ring that delivers a continuous low dose of hormones. It's as effective as the pill, but you don't have to take it every day. NuvaRing is not for everyone. Serious risks include blood clots, stroke, or heart attack. NuvaRing is not for women with a history of these conditions. Some studies suggest that the progestin in NuvaRing may increase the risk for blood clots. Smoking increases cardiovascular risks, especially in women over 35. NuvaRing users should not smoke. NuvaRing also is not for women with certain cancers or those who may be pregnant. Protect against HIV and other STDs. So say goodbye to the old song and dance, and hello to NuvaRing.
Learn more about NuvaRing right now. Go to NuvaRing.com or ask your doctor.
NuvaRing, break free from the pack.
WGN America, TV you can't ignore.
Well, I married my dream girl, but she didn't tell me her credit was bad. So now instead of living in a pleasant suburb, we're living in the basement at her mom and dad's. No, we can't get a loan for a respectable home just because my girl defaulted on some old credit card. If we'd gone to freecreditreport.com, I'd be a happy bachelor with a dog and a yard.
Offer applies with enrollment and Triple Advantage.
It's not a dream. You are not hallucinating. You're witnessing the metamorphosis of a new network. WGN America. Keep your eyes here.
WGN Radio's Dave Bennett joins us with sports tonight. And you know what? That game had the classic feel of potential extra innings.
Yes,
And then
yes.
the Astros
Sure
just
did.
stepped up and took care of it.
It could have been a real long night, and unfortunately for the Cubs, it didn't last very long after all. Vacation's over. Time to go back to work for all of baseball. Of course, it wasn't much of a break for 8 Cubs and manager Lou Piniella, who went to the All-Star game, but the whole gang was back together tonight in Houston to turn their attention to the matters at hand, namely tightening their hold on first place in the National League Central. Another good sign for the Cubs, Alfonso Soriano taking BP and getting closer. Ted Lilly was terrific for the Cubs tonight, and Jim Edmonds gave him the lead in the 5th, 1-0 Cubs. But Cubs killer Carlos Lee would even things up. And how? A no-doubter off of Lilly in the 7th inning, and it's suddenly 1-1. And it stayed that way until the bottom of the 9th. Miguel Tejada led off with a double off Bob Howry. Then Hunter Pence bloops one into center. Edmonds coming on. He'll have a play on Tejada. The throw not in time. Tejada scores. Houston wins the final 2-1.
60 years ago.
80s night at the Cell. Those fans ready for it. And the Sox ready for some offense against the Royals. An amazing first inning. The first 8 Sox batters reached base. Jermaine Dye, a 2-run single to put them ahead 2-1. The Sox would add 5 more in the inning. And an inning later, Carlos Quentin 0 for 4 in the All-Star game. But this one really counts. Number 23 for number 20. The Sox had a 7-1 lead. Mark Burley gets the win. It's just gone final. The Sox win 9-5, and we'll have the Sox and Royals tomorrow night at 6 here on WGN. Well, the Blackhawks had a few surprises in store for the thousands of fans turning out for the start of the team's first ever convention. First, they announced they would retire the number 3 worn by Hawks Hall of Famer Pierre Pilote, and more recently by the late Keith Magnuson. Then the Hawks introduced their brand new captain. 20-year-old Jonathan Taves becomes the 3rd youngest captain in NHL history. Coach Dennis Savard presenting the Rookie of the Year finalist with a brand new jersey complete with the captain's letter C. Taves, already a fan favorite, is clearly a favorite among teammates as well, but seems a little bit overwhelmed by it all.
Obviously, I just do what I do in the locker room and on the ice, and for me to get that kind of respect from people inside the locker room and outside, it's a huge deal for me. So, obviously, I think there's still a lot of things I got to learn as far as maybe being a leader or just being one of the guys, just being a regular guy in the locker room. So, hopefully, I can keep taking steps forward and eventually mold myself into that role eventually.
No Tiger, how about a shark? Greg Norman, a surprise contender at the British Open after a second straight even par 70. Camilo Villegas had the day's best round. He birdied the final 5 holes. This was on 18. He finished with a 65. He's 1 over. The leader is KJ Choi, who rolled in this long birdie putt on 18 to move to 1 under. He's got a 1-shot lead on the 53-year-old 2-time champion, Greg Norman. Norman in contention at the British Open.
Round of golf.
Briefly, the Chicago Sky beat Connecticut tonight. Former Illini guard Darren Williams gets a 4-year, $70 million extension from the Jazz. And Christian Vandeveld from suburban Lamont remains 3rd through 13 stages of the Tour de France.
All right, Dave, you are smooth.
That's all the news we have for this Friday. Thank you for a great week, everybody. I'm Antoine Lewis.
I really enjoyed you, Antoine. You are a hoot. I'm Allison Payne. For all of us, have a great weekend.
Is anyone up for a game of basketball?
Next Chappelle's Show. Tonight at midnight East, 9 West.
We now join our program already in progress.
To go.
Room service. Who ordered deliver?
Jackass.
Bite me. Great guy.
Hey, Laverne, my girlfriend's coming by. Would you mind giving her the keys to my apartment?
You know, I shacked up with a man before I was married, too. His name was Jesus.
Our generation has the exact same morals and values as yours.
Come on, Elliot, let's go find ourselves a man whore.
See ya.
No, she's not moving in permanently. She's just crashing for a while.
About a year ago, Jordan said she wanted to crash for a while. Now my office is a nursery. My closet is my office. My clothes are in the entertainment center, and my TV is in the John, which I guess is kind of nice. I don't even know anymore.
Same thing happened to me. After my divorce, I told Marianne I was going to crash at her place for a few weeks, and we've been sharing a bed for 8 years.
Isn't Mariana your mother?
Hey, who are we talking about here, you or me?
Look, here's the rule there, porn star. The moment her toothbrush hits your sink, you've got yourself a permanent roomie.
How long will you be staying?
For a while. Downy's soft.
There'll be toilet paper everywhere. Gotta go.
Hey, real sorry about the whole mom situation there.
She has cold toes.
Oh, Ted, don't be that guy.
What guy? What guy?
This is so exciting. The closest I've ever come to breaking the law was in 6th grade when Alex Peterson sold his mom's Virginia Slims out of his guest house.
Wow, was he a blood or a crip?
He was Lutheran.
This is it. Stop the car. Stop the car. Keep the meter running. We'll be right back.
What a rush! I mean, I've never slept with a prostitute before, but if it is half as much fun as buying one, sign me up.
Hey, quiet down back there.
Sorry.
No, even though I won't be performing the transplant, I am a key member of the surgical team. It's too complicated to explain what it is I do, but in layman's terms, I guess you'd call it watching.
Could you excuse me 1 second?
Sure.
I taught him that. Well struck, Harry.
Well, let's finish up here, okay? Have you been smoking?
No, sir.
Drinking?
Nope. Oh, I had a couple of glasses of champagne at my daughter's wedding last month. But a little champagne's no big deal, huh?
Nah. Look, Harry, Barry's he's a great guy.
Yeah. And I totally forgot the rule to the transplant list is no drinking unless Cox says you're a great guy.
Come on, Pally. Guy's been on the list for 3 stinking years. This is a no-brainer.
You're right. He's out.
I'm no Superman. Superstation WGN is now WGN America. It's not just TV, it's a lifestyle. So quit your job, sell the car, and get ready to plant yourself in front of the tube.
Do not quit your job or sell your car, and if you do, at least make sure you got a backup plan and or you get a good price for it. If you do plant yourself in front of the tube to watch the all-new WGN America, make sure you have plenty of snacks on hand because wild horses, fire and or laser shooting flying saucers will be able to tear you away from the awesome stuff I just mentioned. For real, you've been warned.
WGN America, TV you can't ignore. The men of TV are de-evolving. From man of the house...
I am the king in my castle.
...to man of the couch.
Haven't I heard of you?
You're not a cop, are you?
Just when you think it can't get any worse, these guys show up.
I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl. That's my other brother Daryl.
Watch the men of classic TV go from sophisticated to sauced. Put your mind on rewind with Out of Sight Retro Night on WGN America. Keep your eyes here.